Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to This is the Academic Foxhole, and I am Trooper SJP. How is everyone doing? I want to say thank you for waiting around. We had a late start today because I was so you know how my computer died in a very
It's very tragic.
Hey, first over here. Just note there's somebody special hanging out right there. But you know, it was like my computer imploded in an epic way, and I had to restart everything. And part of that was upgrading to the newest OS, Mac OS, and the newest Mac OS does not play 32-bit games. And Twice Reborn is a 32-bit program, and so. Last week, as you may have noticed, we played The Long Dark because Lindy was not available because she was hanging out with her husband because she likes him.
I do.
It's a thing. But also that was convenient because I hadn't set up...
There was a lot of setup you had to do.
Yeah, the virtual machine. And I have now set up the virtual machine parallels, and I have got the 32-bit game playing in a virtual machine, which is pretty exciting. I tried to do some audio stuff. It didn't work. We're gonna work these things out later. But so here we are, and we're gonna play with the virtual machine and see how that goes. I'm pretty excited about it because if this works, that means other things might work. That some of which I need for work. Which is therefore very good, but other things which could be exciting. Because if this actually functions, then surprises. Now, I will note, this is a visual novel, so it doesn't take up a huge amount of RAM. This is not a full test of our excitement yet, but it'll be a start. Now, we are playing Twice Reborn, which is a visual novel about not a grad student, really, right? An undergraduate who is a TA, Mark Delaware, and he has turned into a vampire. We're going to find out all about how that works out for him, but I cannot do this by myself. And there are reasons why I cannot do this by myself. I figured if we have to have visual novel Backseat drive-in theater where we're playing somebody named Mark Delaware who's like central core challenges between embracing the vampires and fighting the vampires, I feel like I needed to have a vampire partisan. You know. A vampire partisan running around being here with me. And that vampire partisan is none other than the one, the only, Laugh Love Lindy! Laugh Love Lindy!
Hello, it's me. I laugh, I love, and I Lindy. Trooper has set a very low bar for himself today and has thus achieved it in the fact that he loves me more than all of the fake people out there.
It's true.
So yes, I mean I appreciate that about Trooper. So
now I do want to point out
yes.
that one can interpret the phrase fake people in two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
They could be people who are not sort of sincere about their feelings, like they're fake people, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, I totally love you, but then they don't love you at all. Or they could be fake people, right? Wherein they're fictional people, and those fictional people might love you a whole lot.
You know, it's hard to say because they're fictional.
But if we read... But...
We wrote extensive fan fiction about me specific. I don't think there's any I would be a little scared if there was fanfic
I would be too.
Out there with me in it. I'd be like, oh no.
Like
I've gotten fan art of campaigns, but that's not of me, that's of my characters.
Yeah.
It'd be a little weird.
It would be
if
weird,
I was
right?
a subject of fan art or fanfic.
Yeah.
Watch someone comes out of the woodwork now with like, I've got 97 pages of Lindy fanfic, and I'd be like, oh no.
So speaking of fanfic, because you started it now.
Oh no.
There's that.
I mean, yes, Mark Delaware reads fanfic. This is fact. Yeah.
There's that entire genre of fan fiction about actual human beings. Like there's like a bunch of One Direction fanfic, and
It's not. I don't think that's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't. No.
You like shipping people in real life and all their fanfics about real life people. I mean, it just seems a little invasive. Do you know what I mean? Especially since all this fanfic is also sexual, so it just seems a little invasive.
Yeah. Like, I've read some fanfics that aren't. Most of them are, and it's weird when it's real people.
Yeah.
Weirder when it's real people. I don't know.
I mean, on the one hand, like, fine, write your fanfic about real life people, but then should you publish it so that real life person can end up maybe reading it? Like, that seems like a whole other step. You know what I mean?
That's an extra step that is very extra and does not need to happen. Maybe
I don't know. I just feels, especially because, how do I put this? If you're doing fanfic of a character, right? You can talk about that character's inner thoughts and their feelings, and that's whatever. But if you're and then Lindy really loves garlic bread, and as she ate the garlic bread, she thought, I love this garlic bread. I know that I tell people I have celiacs, but I don't. And I'm just gonna eat. I was like, hold on, but Lindy's a real person though, and she does have celiacs, and she might like garlic bread, but I'm just
celiac, yeah.
So it just feels weird.
I like gluten-free garlic bread. Yeah, I love. Oh man, love me some gluten-free garlic bread. But yeah.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts and feelings about that. That it's a little weird, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm being.
But little, you mean a lot. Then
yeah,
yes.
it feels a lot weird. Yeah. I don't want to be judgmental about it, but I'm just saying.
I will.
It's just that it weirds me out a little bit. That's all. I'm gonna move this.
I think it should. I think it'd be a little weird if it didn't weird you out.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. And I'm gonna make this more visible. So, hey, I know we've got a game to play and we're gonna do it, but I wonder if you have any announcements. So I'd like a little bit of pre-announcements.
I like vampires. I don't. Is there anything else I need to announce?
I don't know. What do you have going on?
Okay, just on my channel in general. And okay. So
because you're hanging out with us.
I am. I suppose so. So I'm Lindy, Laugh Love Lindy. I stream tabletop RPGs and sometimes video games when I can get back on the video games train and not get distracted by other things. On Mondays we have a very fun new D&D game. We are on episode 6, I think, so it's fairly new. You can hop in. We're just doing. We haven't gotten into the meat of the campaign yet. We're still waiting for our 5th player to finish moving. But it's Mondays in Exandria, the new batch. We're all fun characters, and I'm playing an adorable cinnamon roll Warforged war wizard who might be very deadly and doesn't know how to do non-lethal damage. It's fine. I'm sure. Oh, and has amnesia. I'm sure nothing terrible will come from any of that.
No,
I'm sure nothing bad would happen from that. And we also have a goblin with a gun and a giant sword, so I think that could only go well.
And you finished up your exciting short
My
shot.
Quest for the Heart. I did. I finished up Quest for the Heart, where the plot twist was that they were all cultists of Vecna and they didn't know it, and they had a chance to stay in the cult or get out while you can because they brought the Book of Vile Darkness to the cult leader, the High Priestess of Vecna, the Heart, who they knew from a previous campaign. So that was a fun twist. That I don't think any of them were expecting. It was very, very juicy and good. And some people stayed and some people went. It was like, ooh, fun things to play with later.
So nice. And then what's do you have anything happening on Wednesdays?
Oh, Wednesdays are pretty dull. No, I'm kidding. We have a Good Society game on Wednesdays for another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're Troopers the Facilitator, and it's super duper fun, and everyone's very invested in the drama, and it is, delicious. It is very juicy and spicy and exciting.
There is some drama. I'm so
There's
excited.
lots of drama.
Oh.
And if you're old in that town, it doesn't look good for your life expectancy.
Old people die in that town and not of natural causes.
No, they don't.
They're mostly just murdered.
Yeah.
Whoops. So let me think. I am going to just say, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say boo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Krellin, Bobellin, Banana, Fana, Fofelin, Fee, Fi, Mo, Melon. Krellin, Odious, Bobodious, Banana, Fana, Fofodious, Fee, Fi, Momodious. Odious, the name game.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Yay! Thank you both for those resubs. Hi, and Odious, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, welcome back. So, let me see. I feel like there's one other thing I wanted to say, but I might have forgotten what it was. Hey, Schmelzer! You know, I think I might have forgotten what it was. It was going to be really good, but I forgot it. Was it? What? Lindy, what did I forget?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what I forgot? I don't think I'm sharing sound with you, am I?
You're not sharing anything with me.
Yeah, why would I?
I know, right?
Let me go share with you.
I only know where you sleep.
Then let me share immediately. I'm Discord sharing? What am I sharing? How am I sharing with you? I'm screen sharing. That's it, right? Just in Zoom.
No, it was Discord.
It's Discord, right? Yes, yeah. Because the Zoom does the whole thing.
Because the
yeah. Right, so let me go and do the video call with you. Oops. Yeah. You can have access to the camera. That's fine.
Yep.
And hey, everybody, you can all see that. Let me move you up here. Whoop. Here. Ta-da! All right. I need to share my screen. Discord would like to record this. Yes, I can totally do that. I have to gotta give them permission for things. This is what happens when you have to redo your computer, is that permissions have to be redone and all that madness. Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's just like having a new. It's great. Discord will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. Hey, I'm gonna quit and reopen Discord. I'll just be right back.
That's fine.
It's cool. Cool.
I'll be here.
Yeah, I mean, we're still actually here. It's just
I know. I'll be there for you.
Aww. Not like the fake people who...
No, not like the fake people.
Yeah, those people are... whatever about those people. Let's see. I want to share my screen. And I want to share this one. I wonder why it looks like that. You know what? It doesn't even matter. That one. And go live with you, right? Sure. We're gonna see how this goes, everybody. Can you? Am I doing it? I feel like you don't need this much.
It's waiting.
Hold on. I'm going to stop that because I just feel like you don't need that much screen quality. Let me try again.
That's fair. I don't need that much screen quality.
I just feel like you don't need that much screen.
Look,
quality.
I grew up playing games in the 90s. I don't need much screen quality.
This is what I'm saying, right? Okay, and then let me go live with you in our.
Oh. Yep.
Did I don't think I did the screen before. I think I just did audio. Is that right?
No, you did the screen because I didn't need. How else was I going to read things?
Oh, that's fair.
Yes, that is fair. Yes,
that's fair. I take it. I will note that I'm currently...
You did audio share through Zoom, but then you did screen through Discord.
Is that even right?
That is what we did last time, but you do have a whole new computer set up, so...
This is true. Let's see, I don't need to turn my camera. Are ghouls not fake vampires because they can be in the sun? And no, ghouls are different than vampires. Traditionally, ghouls are like undead creatures that eat They might not actually even be undead, but they eat the dead. They eat dead flesh. That's what they do. Let's see. Hey, how's everything going? Let's see.
You know what's happening.
Is it happening?
I mean, well, I don't see anything yet.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't...
But it's happening, you know.
Okay. So, we paused... I don't even know if we actually did share screen.
That is how we did it.
Really?
I do know. I know.
Okay.
So I'm glad one of us does.
That's fine. It seems so odd. Okay. So we got our... What happens if I... D&D ghouls are dead, Shadowrun ghouls are not. Mm-hmm. I think, what if I do, rather than applications, I just do screens? How about I do that?
That might work.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just go with screen. Now, I will note that I'm now currently running multiple applications all at once at the same time. So we're going to just see how that goes. And I'm sharing... I'm sharing game audio through Zoom.
Oh, that would work then. Yeah.
Right.
We wouldn't need to share Zoom audio because we didn't get game audio through Discord last time. So. Right.
So, oh, you know what happens? Anytime I move, here's what happens. No, we couldn't. I think we couldn't have done screen through Discord because anytime I move away to a different screen, it pauses the video. So I think we.
Well, I'm glad that's what you think because that is definitely what we did. But you have updated your whole computer, so we might have to do things differently now.
Discord's getting funky.
But this is what we did the last time.
All right, let me see, because when I click anything other than Discord, it says we've paused this preview to save your resources. But it doesn't have anything for you yet, right?
No.
Well, that's not exciting.
It isn't exciting.
The opposite of exciting. Oh.
I don't know.
Right. I can share audio with you, but how am I going to get you the screen? It's going to be so slow. That is a question. And I cannot share screen through Zoom because then it messes up the Zoom.
It does, yes.
Yeah, that's a thing. Hey, everybody. This is technology. This is how we do it.
We love technology.
What are you going to do for your next, Yeah, if the previous one was just your side, it will continue doing video. I certainly hope so, but I don't think it's shown up over on the Laugh Love Lindy space yet. I would like to... You don't see anything over on your end, do you?
No, it's... No.
No?
It just shows loading. It's like...
Just boop loading. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to open up... Oh, we should probably not do it there. Should do it there. We're gonna do it here. That's just what we got. Alright, let's see.
We can do it wherever. Were I unwed.
Lindy, I don't know if anyone's ever told you that you are scandalous.
I do have a lewd emote for a reason.
You do?
It's because many of the things that come out of my mouth are highly inappropriate. I had to put on the mega filter when I used to teach daycare once upon a time.
Was that possible for you?
It was. I was also more sheltered then, but you know, I was able to do it. I have a kid filter. It's very effective. It's difficult, but as soon as I'm done being around children, it's like, blah, and it all comes out.
So what I'm getting here at this moment is that my CPU and memory is not too bad. It's fine. So it's not like that's having sadness right there. What happens if I look at? Let's see, I think I can look at my GPU history. How are you doing with GPU? Also, you know what I was thinking? Side note.
Yes.
I was thinking that my GPU looks like it's fine. Well, I don't know why you're not getting a screen yet. So it's like everything. Nothing is overloaded on my end. I will, however, just to be safe, and because I don't think I actually need it right now, because I've got other things happening, I think I'm going to just quit out of my browser. Just to...
Just do what you gotta do. Tesla says hello.
Oh, hey, Tesla. How are you doing?
Shush. Hello.
Oh, Tesla.
Oh, gosh. It is exactly 1 hour before dinner, so of course she is harassing me.
Okay. So, I've done all of that. Now, tell me, if you would... Oh, just quit. Great. Okay, so, here I am. Have you seen a video yet?
No.
Golly gee willikers.
Let me leave this call and then I'll pop it back in. Maybe it's like a Discord thing, you know.
Oh, sure.
Let me pop back in now.
Just let me know. Oh.
Disconnect and then I'll
I know what happens
join it.
when I do that. I know. It's fine.
No, still just loading.
Krellin, give me your question. What is your question? I would like to know it. This is what I want to know. I want to know what the question is. And it's not giving you visuals.
Visuals. I do like a good visual.
A good visual. I mean, I will note, I am currently running many things, although I'm not getting frame rate drops, so that's not bad. All right, so...
We could try just messing with the zoom if it is not,
If we go zoom, how about if I cancel? What if I just lower the quality?
just make it, lower it all the way.
Here, we're gonna go this for you and see if that will help. And then, will it help?
Will it help?
Will it help? I don't know. Let's see. Go. And go. It is thinking about it.
It's thinking real hard.
It is thinking real hard. I just don't know if it likes it.
I don't know. What gets me is that it was fine before your computer died, and now with the new setup, it's just like no.
Well, because right now I'm running a virtual machine, so I've got basically...
Yeah, whereas before you weren't, right?
Yes, before
I think that might be the issue.
Yeah, before I was just
you
playing it, and now I'm running it through a virtual machine so that I can play it. So that's madness. What do you think about... See what happens if I stop the streaming there, share my screen, do the screen, this...
I can answer that question, Krellin.
Yes.
Trooper is planning on hosting Critical Role tonight.
I am actually. I'm very excited about it. It's gonna be awesome. You know what I'm gonna do? Hey, I have an idea. I'm actually just gonna...
I love ideas.
I'm gonna end the call.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna restart the call.
Okay.
Right? I'm just gonna, like, do fresh.
Sure.
So we did the whole, like, freshness. Video call. Share my screen. Screen. Go. And, that's what I got. Tell me if it happens. Because it may or it may not. I don't know.
I don't see anything.
Oh, you don't see anything?
I don't see anything.
Ah, gee willikers. Well,
Boo.
it isn't going.
Nope. Are you sharing like the whole window or just the screen?
I've done both. I've done the
Tried
window.
both.
Yeah, I've tried
Boo.
both. I've tried both.
You know,
window.
it seems like Discord just hates virtual computers. Then is what
Why?
I'm getting the feeling of. I don't know.
Why does it hate virtual computers?
I can't. I don't know the mysterious ways of the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly great with Discord.
Discord. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. I feel like it's gonna be dangerous, and
I love dangerous.
we're gonna try it. We're gonna try this. Y'all are gonna have to prepare for a little bit of
Wild and crazy.
A little bit of wild and crazy is what we're gonna have to do. A little bit of wild and crazy, because this is what happens. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna share via Zoom, and this is gonna be,
Yes.
Yeah, and when this happens, it's gonna be what it is, which means all that's gonna happen.
Oh, yes, I see it.
Yeah, but now nobody can see either one of us
That is true.
because we no longer exist. Uh, because we no longer exist.
That
So
happens sometimes.
let's see if maybe I can fake recreate. Yeah. Uh, uh, oh, uh,
These are my favorite sound effects.
oh, good. Oh, you're too low. You're too low, Lindy. It's not you, it's me. Here.
Oh, okay.
It's
As long as it's not me.
yeah, and I feel like can I make this even better? Can I make this better? Ooh. Oh, I can. So it turns out that if I want to make this work, I need to just sort of change the
Oh, it's working. It's working. We're getting
yeah,
there.
but the what do you call it? The uh the frames are different, so I've got to fake it.
We'll make do.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. You look good, but I feel like you could have maybe a little bit like so. I look too tall, but it's not the end of the world. I'm
Well,
also
you are taller than me. So
yeah, but I'm not that much taller.
there.
I've
I'll
got
do
no
that too.
headroom.
There we go. I'll look taller too. There we go.
Well, I'll just do that. Just okay. So I think we have it. I think we have it. I mean, I'm a little off center, but this is us. This is us cheating. You know what? I'll have to go and I'll have to go and I have this really cool thing that you all can't see right now, but I did this really cool thing. It's really awesome. Sometimes, like when you're streaming, you have your Zoom window and you're capturing Zoom, and when you put your put your like I do like a in order to save resources, where like I put the Zoom on there and then I capture multiple times and I crop it. So that only works well if your Zoom window is the same size every time. If somehow your Zoom window changes size, then you have to readjust everything, and it's very irritating. So what I've done is I've made a background image for the monitor where I put the Zoom most of the time, and I've made a white border where that is the exact size of the Zoom window when the Zoom window is perfect. It saves a lot of time. It's really good. It's just that it doesn't work with like the
weirdness that we're doing now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Nobody cares. Anyway, I was gonna say something else and I forgot it. So we're oh no, yes. Move over, Harris Heller. Troopers coming for the stream creation market. It's true. Hey, I've got all sorts of Lindy and I, people do we've got tips. We've got tips, is what I've got to say.
Just the tips.
Are we talking about the 90s and like O-Town and like boy bands with frosted tips?
Sure.
Cool. Nice. I'm glad that that's exactly what we're talking about and
Yep.
nothing else. Yep.
Nothing else.
Nope. Yep.
What else could we be talking about?
I don't even know.
Trooper?
I don't even know. I mean, clearly it's like hair product. So, they were the coolest. So, this is our part 3 of Twice Reborn, which I'm going to just take us over to that screen.
Do it.
Because I can. And, we're doing it. And, y'all, classes start next week. Is what I want. So, I will say, this is running a little slow. Oh, thanks, Kyle. This is where we are.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. I will just note it feels a little sluggish. We'll note it for later.
It is on a virtual machine.
But, like, people say virtual machines are awesome.
They can be.
You get to read first.
Music spilled from a plain-looking brick building with black trim. Mark, Kyle, and Nate crossed the street.
That's right. Howie rolls like, where's my puka shell necklace? That's a good question. My green screen is gone. Huh.
He's using a different camera.
Oh, I am using a different camera.
You are. And I think that's okay.
Is it?
I think so.
But why am I using a different camera?
I know you like to know the whys. We're playing a game right now, Trooper.
Sure. Although, actually, I'm not using a different camera. I'm using the same camera. It's just not showing up that same way. Weird. I don't know why. Can't tell you.
A strong stench of body odor and staleness caused Mark to gag and cover his mouth. Oof.
Oh, because he's got advanced smells now.
Oh, yeah. Because he's a vampire.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's that guy.
Oh, yeah, the weird, creepy guy. Hold on a second.
A homeless man leaned against an alley wall. He was the same one whom Mark saw before, loitering around Dive's pub. His tattered case of vampire weapons was open and at hand.
Ooh, awkward. Do me a favor, will you? Let's be very quiet for a second, because I want to see if we can hear me. Oh, we used to have
sound?
audio. We used to have sound, and it has gone away. Where did it go? We did have it. It was coming through.
Into the ether.
Come on, ether. It was going on for a moment, but it has stopped going on. But it was there. And I'm hearing it. But you are not hearing it. Are you hearing it, Lindy?
No.
You're not hearing it. Interesting. You know, we did have it there for a moment. Let's see. Oh, hold on. We don't want that. We want... It should be back. Do you hear it?
No.
But I'm sharing my screen. Oh, I know why. I don't think I can serve two masters. Is what it is. The sound has gone back for everybody else, but I'm sharing sound with you, which it can't do, I don't think, very well. So this
It's okay. I don't need sound. I'll just imagine it.
No, you can't do that. That's no good. Hold on, I have an idea. What if I share audio through Discord?
We could try it.
I mean, we don't know, but...
We don't know.
I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, and then I'm going to reshare.
Do you have the audio sharing selected when you shared your screen?
I did.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm going to unselect that and share again. So you should be seeing it.
Yes.
But you should be hearing nothing.
I hear nothing.
Everybody else can. So, and then it's very light. Then I'm going to go back into our Discord, and I'm going to see if I can just share audio.
Okay.
That might.
Yeah.
That might do it, right? That might be the way to go. All right, Lindy. Hey, everybody. I appreciate you helping me get through all this tech madness. Let's do a voice call. And how about if I share? Okay. Are you in it?
I'm in the voice call, yes.
Do you hear things?
No.
Do you hear very lightly things?
Let me turn you all the way up. No.
Really?
Yes. I wouldn't lie to you about something like this live on stream.
I take it.
Before stream, yes. Not during stream.
No, that's fair. All right, hold on. I think I might have pressed the wrong button. So this is, what I want is, I think that's input, which I don't want. I want, hold on. I think I got it. I'm going to join this call. And for my output device, That's what I'm hearing. Input mode. That's fine. I want you to hear... I want you to hear... I want you to hear one of these outs. Which out do I want?
There's only so many outs.
You know...
That out was me.
I see you. I wish I could see. Here we go. Okay. How about y'all? Also, I cannot see chat at the moment. Loopback audio. Loopback stream browser. No. Mic. Zoom audio device. I don't think that'll work for us. It really should be this one, but you're not hearing it there.
No. Just myself, which is weird.
Oh, but you hear me though.
Yes.
Okay, that's probably because you're hearing me through Zoom.
I am hearing you through Zoom.
Yes, I suspected as much.
It's okay. I'll just imagine there's music.
All right, fine. Bring us back.
Everything's gonna be smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
In my mind.
Run Zoom the VM and call from there. That might actually do it. Actually, that probably would. Okay. The Alshimo's probably correct about that one. So, you were reading our the homeless man, right? And all
yes.
the vampires.
Yes, I did.
The homeless man and all of the vampires. Okay.
Vampire weapons. Yes.
Vampire weapons.
He seemed to be asleep, but when they approached, he slowly cracked his eyes open and watched them with an almost unnatural stillness.
What? You know, this is terrible. This is terrible, this guy's showing right now.
Mark tried not to stare or act strange. He wasn't sure what the man was thinking and doubted if he was sane.
He's got vampire weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I would be worried about it, for sure.
I would be too. The homeless man closed his eyes, at rest again. Kyle and Nate didn't glance his way and passed the man as though he didn't exist. Mark supposed that it was true. Most people wouldn't notice a poor man who didn't have a firm hold on reality.
Oh. Nightclub?
Grapes of Wrath.
Oh, yeah.
The loud music hit Mark's sensitive ears. Mark held his hands over his ears as he looked around the club. No wonder his dorm mates disappeared many nights during the last semester. This whole place fit them.
Doesn't really fit Mark, does it?
No. The headlining band was Grapes and Wrath. Nate's favorite, deep-toned German and English lyrics flooded the nightclub.
Nice. Why is it always German when they want to be hardcore? You know, like other countries have hardcore too.
They do,
right?
But I do like German music, so...
Yeah, me too. I'm just saying, like, Scandinavia?
Oh, yeah, like some Heilung? Get that in there.
I'm just saying.
Fangirls wearing fishnet tights lined the first row, screamed names, and begged for the band to touch their outstretched hands.
Cronen's like, well, okay, when the music is loud, I can very faintly hear something. Yeah. We're doing some experiment.
The crowd rocked their heads with the band, raising first and pinky fingers up, saluting the music. The band moved like a beating heart, pulsing to the rhythm.
Hey, if it helps any, it actually is, the responsiveness is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So less of a lag. By the way, Iceman, you did not make techno. Techno was invented by 3 guys in Detroit, and then Germans thought it was cool and then started copying it. But Germans did not invent techno. Goodness sakes. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh. This looks bad. A throbbing pain filled his gums and his vampire teeth as his vampire teeth pushed through.
Why is that happening?
Why is that happening?
Yeah, why is that happening? Hello, Miss
We
Monkey.
just ate at that house party the other night.
I know, he should be like fine. It was
should be fine.
Kevin Saunderson, Derek May, and this third guy. They were like teenagers. These like 3 black kids who were teenagers in high school, the Belleville 3, right outside of Detroit. They invented what happened. Inspired by like the Chicago house scene. Uh-oh. Why are you crying?
He cries a lot. It was overwhelming in the club. Dangerous. Unsure if he could control himself, Mark began to sway as he pushed past a couple of pretty girls with dark eye makeup and mesh shirts.
Oh. Howie Roll says, I mean, we are all hungry when we enter a buffet place, right? I mean, I suppose that's
so true, that's so true.
That's true.
The whole crowd, the immersing concert, every moment of it engulfed him. The bass from the speakers pounded through his body. Hugging himself, he felt as though he would pass out from the overwhelming senses.
Yeah, maybe going to a big rock concert was not the best idea.
Yeah, maybe not.
Oh, just saying.
Deep within him, he called for help.
You know what that means?
Is his teacher gonna show up?
I bet. This is my guess. My guess is teacher's gonna show up. Yep. That's my guess. I mean, I can't say, but... Oh.
Oh. You know, I think he should go.
Okay, but that vampire hunter's outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
But bad things might happen if he stays inside.
But I feel like worse things might happen if he leaves.
The worst thing that would happen is a vampire hunter tries to kill him.
And then he dies.
Yeah. Oh no. But if he stays, he might try to eat some people, and we all know he doesn't like conflict very much.
It's true, he is conflict. But if he stays by the stage, then all the people are behind him.
Within nomming distance, please, look, if you're by the stage, you're in the mosh pit. Everyone knows this. I've crowd surfed in a mosh pit before.
Wait, you have crowd surfed in a mosh pit before?
It was not my doing. I was at a Flogging Molly concert, and I was like, woohoo! Right against the fence, right at the front. And then the next thing I knew, I was flying in the air because one of the caber tossers tossed me like a caber, just straight into the mosh pit. Thankfully, I was caught, and then guided around a little bit. And then one of my friends in the mosh pit was like, turn her around! They listened. He's a big guy, and put me back, and I landed 2 feet to the right of where I got tossed from, and I was like, I thought I was going to die.
These are things. Okay, look, this is why we play video games, so we can learn things about Lindy.
Yes,
that's.
Look, Flogging Molly concerts, people get broken ribs, broken noses. I was like, oh. I just did this, and I was like, keep your core tight, and just because I didn't want to go down. If I went beneath the waves, I would have died.
I appreciate that you kept your core tight. I bet.
Stay stiff.
I imagine that you were like imagining yourself like Baby from Dirty Dancing, with the big final.
No, it was just, oh god, I'm airborne. Oh god, I'm going to die. Oh god, I ended up right where I left off. How did that happen?
So people were like, I'm not sure people would notice in a mosh pit. Yeah, we wouldn't have Laugh Love Lindy if she hadn't been caught. And some of those people is Dave King. So here, what do we do? Do we stay by the stage where maybe we don't run into the vampire hunter who would try to murder us, or do we try to leave the concert whereby the vampire hunter is waiting for us with the weapons?
He seems to be having a real bad time.
Yes.
And crying.
He is crying.
And he's already internally called for help. I think that maybe his teacher's already on the way. I think he tried to leave. He does seem like the kind of person to get going when
Okay.
When it gets tough, yeah.
Laugh Love Mosh is a missed opportunity for a username. Okay, we're gonna try to leave this concert, but it's gonna be murder.
If he dies to a vampire hunter, this would be the very short stream game.
Uh-oh. It was worse. It's not the vampire hunter. It's
other vampires.
No, it's his friends.
And it's friend. It's his friends. It's his friends.
Yeah. Do his friends know he's a vampire?
No. Nate saw Mark struggling, waving Kyle over. The two guided Mark to the back of the club. Oh, see, that's good. Oh,
Oh,
good of them. Good friends. Good friends.
yeah, they're good friends.
They probably know this isn't Mark's usual jam,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, poor baby can't handle the rock and
It's
roll."
true.
Oh.
It's true.
Stunned, Mark was thankful for the rescue. The twins watched Mark as his fangs receded to a normal length, but didn't say a word. I mean, they do hang out with other vampires in
Oh.
their free time, you know? So I
Oh.
don't think they'd be that weirded out, but
Missile Monkey says, he's dying, he's denying the thirst, embrace what you are, wuss. I just feel like he's,
we've kind of established that he is a bit of a wuss, though.
but also I don't know if it's thirst so much as I don't think he can control his, like, I think it's just like
He is
sensory
overwhelming.
overload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensory overload, because it was mostly the noises and the
Yeah,
smells and
yeah.
everything.
And I don't
Because he
think
already
yeah,
ate somebody. I think
yeah.
it's, yeah.
I think he's just not used to it, you know?
He's still a wee vampire bab.
He's a wee vampire Bob. Pardon. Okay, so I'm gonna just note that the twins know he's a vampire now.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, the twins led Mark to a black painted door with a silver skull, painted
Oh.
on its center. A moonlight club next to the sign to the door warned off limits, staff only.
Okay, this is bad, everybody. Okay. I'm just feeling like we're gonna be introduced to all those other vampires who are the ones who like to
I
murder
think so.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are my feelings.
Hey, where are we going?
Hey, where we? Oh, he says that, I
Yeah,
guess.
he said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it.
There's someone you should meet.
Kyle said that too.
Oh. Mark's skin broke into goosebumps as they opened the door and walked into complete blackness.
Versus, I thought he got interrupted by his ex-girlfriend at the other party.
He did.
Oh, but he did drink from that woman, right?
Yeah, he
Yes.
did drink from that one girl, and then he went in for some more.
Yeah.
And then she saw it and
She
got
slapped him.
slapped.
Yeah, it was awkward. Staff is only a suggestion, right? I feel like, okay, we're gonna.
I've been in a lot of staff-only areas of which I was not staff of, so yeah. The basement had been painted entirely ebony. Mark's eyes widened. People actually lived in this gloomy place.
Oh, Mark. Do you know, Mark is not edgy. Do you know what I mean?
He's so not edgy.
I
This is why he's with the other vampires.
I feel like he probably would have been nervous at that flogging Molly concert.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
What kind of music do you think he listens to?
Oh, pop.
See, I feel like now I can't give a really
Or
good.
in contemporary.
See, I'm thinking if this were the '80s, I feel like he'd listen to Bryan Adams, and
Okay,
like
yeah.
so like basically like rock, but not hard rock of any sort. Quite,
Yeah, I think he's like
quite a
very
few
light,
power
like
ballads.
alternative.
Yeah. But like, I feel like a lot of
Alt-rock.
acoustic guitar.
Oh yeah. He loves an acoustic guitar.
Oh, would he like what's his face? That guy. He's a redhead guy. He's British. He's like very popular right now.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Yeah.
He'd be all over that. He was in Game of Thrones for an episode.
Yeah. He was in Game of Thrones for an episode.
Yes,
What's his
I know
face?
exactly who you're talking about.
Ed Sheeran. Yes.
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 He
Thank you,
would
everybody.
love Ed Sheeran.
I feel like he'd love Ed Sheeran, right? I think he'd listen to Ed Sheeran and
Oh, that's like his favorite.
yes.
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like
oh yeah.
James Blunt. Oh, like he's like yeah. James Blunt. You know, like you're beautiful. That one, that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
Mark's jam.
Yeah. Oh, and that song. I think he'd like that song. Somebody That I Used to Know by
Oh
Gautier.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think he doesn't like pop, but I think he likes guys that are sort of like
Yeah.
with like
Mhm.
a rock filter
Yeah.
on them,
Yeah.
you know, but have got
No.
like
Same page. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so not this one. I got it. I'm there.
All furniture, the floor, the walls were black. The setup reminded Mark of how theaters are designed to black out once the spotlight's dimmed.
Hmm.
One small light shone in the room. If it went out, Mark doubted that even with his vampire sight he'd be able to see.
Interesting. Missile Monkey says, "Yeah, that was all Ed Sheeran wanted in exchange for doing I See Fire, a cameo." Oh, there we go.
There they are.
There they are.
In the deep shadows, a goth male squinted his black-lined eyes at him. His expression casted darker shadows on his face. His sharp eyes never left Mark as he and the twins descended the staircase.
Oh, they came in after. Oh, I just feel like all this is bad, right? Look, Mark, don't freak out. I'm just giving you advice. I don't know what's going to happen. Don't freak out. Play
You
it
think
cool.
he's not gonna freak out or play it cool?
Just like be non-committal. Okay, this is a video game thing. I don't know if the video game's going to do it for us, but like very often in a video game like this, some bad guy or murderous type of person will be like, "You join me, or I'll kill you." And your choices are like, "Yes, I'll join you," or "No, I'll never join you." And what I want is a choice that says, "Totally,
Can I
I'll join
think
you."
about it? Yeah, sure.
And we're like, "Absolutely."
Some video games give you that choice,
But like
and I love it.
lying. Do you know what I mean? Like I just want to be able to
Yes.
say, "Oh, I'm totally lying." Because here's the thing: if the bad guy's like, "Join me or you'll die," I'm gonna say yes, but I'm lying. And sometimes in the video game they don't take it as a lie, and that makes me sad.
A woman in her early 20s stood next to the goth. She tugged at a gothic Lolita skirt and a black, high-collared shirt. She pursed her lips.
Perla notes, "Trooper, stop assuming you're lying when games aren't telling you you're lying. I know, I just want them to let me lie. I just want games to let me lie." Rissa's like, "Mark does not have a cool bone in his body."
No.
Nope. This one says, "Oh, we
He's
get
very
a villain."
straight-laced.
He is. We get a villain interaction. Does that mean we get the dreaded villain monologue? Maybe. Also,
I mean, I'm sure joining him is one of the routes, so
yeah.
maybe not villain per se, but based on the route we're going, he's not the good guy.
Oh, it didn't give us audio. They came.
Bass from the upstairs rock club made a constant rhythm above as they sat still in the basement. Damien closed his eyes and listened. He sneered at their guest once he opened his eyes.
Also, why are big bads always named Damien?
You should have told me your friend is a vampire.
You know, like... Mark startled.
Yes.
Did you think I wouldn't know? No heartbeat.
Of course you
Oh. He tapped his palm against his chest.
Damien, Genshu, this is Mark Delaware.
Missile Bookie says, I've interrupted a few monologues in TTRPGs.
Mark recognized them as the same creepy group from the St. George Amphitheater.
Krellin asks, "Have you ever met a Damien who was good, Trooper?" Well, there was this one Damien who wanted me to join his club. It would involve, like, giving up all of my money and worldly possessions and then hanging out, like, in a compound. He seemed nice.
Gotta love a good compound.
I will note, we were talking about, you never know you're in a cult, usually, until you're in it for way too long. They don't advertise those cults most of the time.
Why were they here? The guy staring him down was the vampire the professor warned him about, and Mark had walked right into their den. How long had his friends been hanging out with them?
Like, a long time, Mark. Mark.
Mark. Your powers of observation. Again, he dump statted perception.
He did
Like-
dump stat perception. It is true.
He was like, perception checks? Who needs those?
Oh god, you're monologuing. Shoots a villain in the face, as is my right. Shooting the big bad mid-monologue is one of my favorite tropes. Yeah, I especially like it when the heroes shoot when the PCs, let's use the word PC rather than hero, when they shoot the big bad in the middle of the monologue and then they actually don't know about some really bad things because they killed the person who had the information too early, like the bombs, or, you know, all the things. Lindy, fellow
You
GM?
gotta let him monologue a bit.
Oh, man,
You know.
you could cut off your information source early. That's cool.
Why were they here? The guy staring him down was the vamp.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, I
sorry.
already read that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Stunned, Mark turned to the twins, but they didn't seem surprised at the goth's reaction. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, Mark. Dump stat perception.
You need better friends. Different friends, maybe. Oh yeah, distance yourself. That'll do
Oh.
you so much good. Oh. Damien scratched the number 2000 tattooed on the calf beneath his coal-colored pants. Mark felt something was off with this vampire. Motioning to the twins, the guy with the eyeliner frowned.
You think there's something off about this vampire? Didn't you already know that they're murderers and they've been killing people on the campus? You already know that. Like, your vampire dad told you.
Yeah.
Come and
Gosh.
sit beside me, you two.
Oh. Michelson was like, shooting still favorite tropes, shooting big bads.
Nate, I asked you to bring me an extra snack tonight. Instead, you bring another mouth to feed.
I don't know about his friends. If his friends go and bring snacks to this guy who likes to murder people, I don't know about all that.
I mean, they killed the super murder happy one. Well, his professor did, but
Yeah.
still.
I know, still.
The twins shrugged and acted unsurprised at the news he was a vampire. How long had they known? Why didn't they say anything sooner? If they knew this is a group of vampires, why would they hang out with them?
I feel like your vampire art club already told you these things. Mark, is your memory bad too? I worry about it.
I think so. Unless it's languages. He has very selective
It's very good.
memory.
Yeah.
Mark swallowed only human blood donors would.
That is correct.
Is this why they were always late returning to the dorms that semester?
Yes.
Mark thought about the bruises he'd seen on the twins.
Yes.
There you go, Mark. Connecting the dots.
There you go. There you go.
This guy obviously had no respect for his friends.
Aww. Well, that's...
The tattooed vampire sat down and motioned for Mark to come closer, but Mark remained standing where he was.
Smart. Riss is like, why do I get the feeling the twins are going to be tonight's
So
snack?
which group changed you? Don't be nervous. We'd find out anyways.
Which group? How many groups are there? Hawkeye
Their
says...
group and the other group.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If the question is, so which group changed you, and it wasn't you, then it would have to be the other group, right?
Right? You'd think. Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't keep tabs on everyone in their group.
Maybe. It's true. Or maybe they're like...
That one guy
other-
was murdering a lot of people without them seeming to know.
He was. Maybe there are other groups. I don't know.
Maybe there are. That is true. There might be other groups that aren't factions in the game.
Yeah. Hawkeye says, I think Mark dropped every stat.
He does know judo, though.
He does.
His dex isn't the worst. Mark gulped. His throat felt dry, scratchy. Damien looked at Mark's finger, and a look of disgust crossed his face.
Oh, because he can see the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like, which faction? Oh, I don't... right there, again. So I think, look, I'm going to say, I agree with Lindy. I think Mark has got pretty good decks. I don't know
Not the worst con.
Not the worst con. I don't know what system we're using, but I think his con's pretty decent because he can run. Like, I don't know... and he was able to survive
He
that.
survived getting turned.
Yeah. So he's probably got a good con, a good dex, like above average. It looks...
He's got int.
He's got int. He probably has above average
But it's
int.
book smart int. It's
Yeah.
not street smart. So he's int, not whiz.
Yeah, so he's got good int, not so good whiz. Yeah, so some games let you split. Yeah, whiz is low, int is high, above average, right? Dex and con above average. I feel like his strength is probably like a 12 or 11 or 12, something like that.
Yeah, see with his charisma, probably.
Yeah. No offense, judo means very little when you have a deadly adversary in your face who's like a vampire. Yeah, I imagine that's...
He did judo throw that vampire, so,
Yeah.
it bought him some time.
Until he was then murdered by said vampire.
Nearly murdered.
Yeah, I think probably high appearance because people seem drawn to him until he starts talking. Yeah. If we're using old school...
Until he starts talking, yeah.
Yeah, if we're going old school, he probably has high comeliness.
If we're going Cthulhu stats, yes, high appearance. But no persuasion or charm skill points.
Yeah. I don't think he's the worst at them, but I just don't think they're above average.
No.
Yeah. Missile Monkey says, martial arts grandmaster's solution to deadly adversary, distract and run like hell. Yes. Oh.
Oh, he does not think he likes this place better.
No, he does not. He's very judgy about this place, clearly.
It did say he just showed his ring.
Yes.
So
Clearly, right? Well, no, I don't think he showed his ring on purpose. I think this is where he either shows his ring on purpose, he doesn't respond, or he likes this place better.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think he'd show his ring.
Because that's not because his wisdom is low. Crown's like, I was
Yes.
thinking World of Darkness stats. That's also fair. Yes. Okay, we're gonna have him show his ring, which again,
Because he could just not respond, but he opens his mouth to say a lot of things, a lot of times
that he should not.
that he might not, or ask dumb questions.
Also, here's what I'm thinking because I'm agreeing with you. Here's my yes and.
And also, they did say that they'd find out eventually anyway, so why not now and have him be in control of how they find out?
Right. And also, here's the thing. You and I both know that these vampires are opposed to his vampire faction because his vampire faction told him. But he often doesn't realize these things, even when they tell him things.
Even when they tell him things.
Yeah. So I think he'll just show the ring.
Everyone here is a vampire. Yes.
Yes. Miss Buggy says, but insert expert's name. It says I should do this. Ends up getting you killed. This is true. He's often the expert.
The Society of the Arts found you first. Now you're with them. My name's Damien. We've no leaders here in the House of Skulls, but I speak for what's left of us.
I imagine they have no leaders because that one guy got murdered. Imagine they don't have any leaders.
I bet you
Wow.
that 50s styled guy is the leader, but he's nowhere to be found.
Yes.
The guy who turned to Damien.
Yeah.
In the video store.
Absolutely. For example, Dust on YouTube. Ooh.
Even if he said that, he obviously acted like their leader. The professor had known these vampires were watching Mark while he was still human. Is that why Michelson offered immortality? Mark hoped that he honestly wanted him to be his Tyro, not because he didn't want this group to have a new toy.
These are
I
weird
think Mark's
thoughts.
feeling a little insecure.
Right, but
About him being groomed.
okay, that's fair. But also, they tried to murder you, Mark.
They did.
They did try to murder you, is all I'm gonna say.
They did.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, before you say anything, there was a little setting that I put on the virtual machine. I'm gonna unloop that next time to see if that makes a difference. Go ahead.
Okay, Mark cautiously watched the couple staring at him. He didn't like learning there was a group of stalker vampires close to home.
They already know this all.
I know.
Skulls are better.
I know.
We're free. But joining the Society of the Arts, you couldn't have joined a more stiff organization.
Well, it's a good thing Mark's a stiff guy.
So, if you've ever watched the original Star Trek series, there was that episode where the space hippies show up, and they sing that song, aimed at Kirk, and it's Stiff Man, and I don't remember the rest of it. I just remember them calling him Stiff Man in their song. I thought that was hilarious. That's all.
Look at
vampire
Mark.
hockey
Does
knows
it
about
look
the
like he
society.
wants to join your
Rarely
goth
speak to
punk
other
cult?
vampires. Except for the culture of love. Those hippie vampires get along with everybody.
Oh.
Oh, the culture of love.
Okay, so there
Hippie
are
vampires.
Okay, so there are multiple groups.
Those hippie vampires get along with everybody.
Huh. Okay, wait. So the Society of the Arts, our vampire group, does not get along to. They rarely speak to other vampires.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that's about?
I think they're very close. They're very exclusive, is what it sounds like. I mean, we heard them speak earlier. They had very few members.
That's true. Schmelzo says, on the one hand, they did try to murder him. On the other hand, hot goths. Who really is to say if they're good or bad?
That's true.
It's true. I mean, I joined. You know, I feel like, look at his white button-down shirt.
Look at him. Just look at him. I mean, he did get eyeliner since becoming a vampire, but that's
True.
not, everybody gets that apparently.
That's a good part about being a vampire. Free eyeliner.
Free eyeliner.
Yep.
Damien frowned. His attention turned to the twins who sat next to him.
It's got some soap.
He spoke quietly to Nate.
Milsic Monkey says, I know they tried to kill me, but they're my friends. Dude, your friends may joke about killing you, but they won't actually do it. Baltiel says, but how much time vampires save every day by not having to do their eyeliner? I know. And money.
Right?
It's been a while.
And money.
I'm
Yeah, I
very
mean,
thirsty.
centuries of eyeliner.
Mind if I take
Whew.
a bite?
It's been a while and I'm very thirsty. Ooh. Well then.
I imagine that's why vampires are all rich, because they save a lot of money on eyeliner.
Yes.
Right, this one. Oh, it's probably some fighting going on right now.
Nate stiffened and then slowly nodded.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Damien threw Nate against the back of the couch and bit his neck. Holding down his shoulders, the vampire drank voraciously, some blood spilling down the vinyl furniture. Nate gasped with pain.
Furniture is vinyl?
So it's easy to clean.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, you get a Lysol wipe, bam, bam, you're done. It's not like leather or fabric. I see the appeal.
It's true. It makes sense.
Vinyl furniture is very I mean, imagine if it was crushed velvet, like the Society of the Arts, I'm sure has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. But I imagine the Society of the Arts, I bet they eat more cleanly, is what I imagine.
Where's the fun in that?
It's fair. It's fair.
I mean, we did see a little bit, but I mean, but if you're not going to eat, like, super cleanly, vinyl furniture is where it's at.
I think you're correct. Missile Monkey notes, wow, that deathly thin makeup job is great. Yeah, makeup.
I mean, being a goth's a great cover for looking pale and wearing dark makeup.
It's true. It's true. It's interesting because I was just rereading the Vampire the Masquerade D5 book, and it notes that, so you have like humanity of like 1 to 10, and most you start off at like 7 or 6 or 7. And it notes that if you have a humanity of 9, like 10 is the max, and like cannot hurt a fly, that kind of a thing, right? If you have a humanity of 9, you no longer look like a corpse. You look like somebody who's got some heroin chic and is ill, but you don't look like a corpse. And I really feel like people forget that if you were a vampire in the world of darkness, you look like a dead body, unless you specifically use your blood to sort of make yourself not look like a dead body. I think people just don't blush of life. I think they just don't blush of life and just feel like it's fine. I will just look like a goth. No, you look like a dead body. I think that people forget that it's like
dead body chic.
Yeah, like you look like a corpse. That's all I'm saying. Is that if you're going to be out and about, probably should be blushing of life, because otherwise you look like a corpse. People forget. Go ahead. Sorry.
Suddenly stopping, Damien pulled himself away and wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. Nate's grimace turned into a smile, a donor's usual reaction from having his blood sucked.
Hawkeye, funeral home chic. Yes.
Yes. It's the new cottagecore for vampires.
That's exactly right. Oh my gosh. Missile Monkey says, yeah, that's why I like the merits of Personal Masquerade and Whisper of Life. So.
The vampire was close to killing him, but Mark's dorm mate seemed unaware. He was high. The other members of the House of Skulls ignored him. Zhenju was drinking from Kyle, but she was more gentle with her actions.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
But even to Mark, it was clear that she was drinking too much without a thought for her donor.
He's learned so much. You know?
He has.
Yeah.
The Society of the Arts' relationship of trust with their donors promised them safety and that they'd never be abused or shared outside of the society like cattle.
Do we have any evidence that the House of Skulls like to share their meals with other people? Because I
mean, that's what maybe the teachers told him. I don't know.
Because it feels to me like they just don't seem like the type that would like to share. Do you know what I mean? They don't seem like...
If they care enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
The House of Skulls was brutal, and it didn't take an experienced vampire to figure that out. Their whole feeding seemed wrong. It was sick.
He seems very judgy, and not like he wants to...
As he always has.
And not like he wants to join this group, that's all.
Yes. Mark was horrified. Licking off some blood, Damien extended Nate's arm towards Mark. No, Nate's already had too much drink from him.
Yeah, no, it's too much. Too much. He doesn't have enough points of blood points left. You know, that would kill him. Onigeek says, I mean, thankfully we don't have to worry about the masquerade here. Lol. Missile Monkey says, they don't look like the share with the rest of the class type. They really don't. They don't bring enough cookies for everyone, you know?
Take some.
And there's the evidence they do share. Oh, they see. Look. Oh. Oh.
I don't think he'd be polite.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'd be polite either.
I think he'd do 2 or 3.
Yeah, I agree with you. 2 or 3 is where I'm thinking as well. No, they're my friends. Aren't they your friends? And just stand there. So, my thought is, Mark's a whole bunch of stuff, but he does seem to really care about his 2 friends.
That is true. So I think he'd probably go with number 2.
I think he'd go with number 2 as well, because he really does. He wanted to go like on a road trip. Like, he seems to care about them quite a lot.
Yeah, spring break.
Yeah.
No, they're my friends. Aren't they your friends?
A little assertive. Let's see how we.
That would be up for
His
Nate
new
to decide.
vampire confidence.
Yeah. Also, even if Nate said yes, you probably shouldn't drink from him because, overfeeding.
Yeah, he might have to go to the ER.
Right? And that
Kyle
seems awful.
looked at Mark with admiration.
And Perla notes,
But
see,
your fangs.
they do share. What about the thing? Oh,
Damien pointed. All the spilled blood affected him. He shouldn't be hungry, but he wanted blood.
interesting.
He fought the urge to drink and thought of his Nate. He wouldn't bite his friend. He would not become an animal again as he had been at Mrs. Violet's house.
Okay, he's afraid of control. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not thirsty. I'm young. I haven't gotten used to the scent of blood. It's all still very new to me.
Well, look, like he's being very polite and non-antagonistic.
Yes, he's handling this rather well.
He is.
Shockingly.
Side note, I really like Damien's pants.
You're still pretty new. I'm surprised you came here. No one in the society does.
Didn't do it on purpose.
He didn't come here. His friends brought
him here, yeah.
Bunch of stuck-up.
I bet the
snobs
society is
covered
going to
in
be
blood.
thrilled when they find
Yeah,
out Mark's been
direct
here.
Peasants and all that.
Yeah, a bunch of sunny snobs probably don't like free blood, probably don't want to drink from the peasants and all that. No, I just don't be true. That's all. It's you, my friend.
He pointed to a few college-age teens slumped on back couches.
Oh my
They were
gosh.
asleep. Bruised bites marred their necks. One looked a little younger than the others.
Wait a minute, how many people are you drinking from anyway? Like, I
They
feel like...
they love to drink. They're like, woo, let's get blood wasted.
Missile Monkey, self-control. Come on, embrace the beast. See that little hand poster in the background on the stairwell?
Yes.
I've seen that image before. Like, what is, like an alien thing, or what is that?
It's a hand. Just looks like a hand. I don't know.
Not helping me.
Her breathing was shallow and she looked like her makeup was days old. She stood up with shaky legs and tottered up the stairs. Eesh.
Don't look
Like
so
a drug
shocked.
addict.
Our guests come and go as they like.
But the
so
drug is
it's
being
their
drunk.
choice if they want to party with us. But back to you being a vamp.
Oh.
We are what we are, whether we were given a choice or not. So, did the society give you a choice?
The society did give him a choice.
They did.
A slightly weird choice, but,
It was a little bit of a weird choice, but there was a choice.
There was. He did, and they had 3
She-
different choices, right? Like, you can become a vampire, or become a donor, or be murdered by these people.
Yeah. She suddenly gave a vulnerable look to Mark. He couldn't figure out why she looked wistful, longing even. Yeah, but I guess she didn't have a choice.
Yeah, she didn't have a choice.
Didn't have a choice.
Yeah. Onigeek says, like, to the left of the hand looks like one of the logos the band post of the fall used in the past. Yes.
I wasn't.
Yep. Damien sucked in a breath. Oh, he looks
Awkward.
angry now.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I didn't have much time to decide. A vampire attacked me, and I was dying.
There's a skull, too.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to say that, though.
Attack, huh? Like I said, hanging out with us is better. You should. We're short members in the House of Skulls and could use someone new.
But it was one of your Yeah.
Yeah. Just, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I just, Oh,
Um.
oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we have three choices. I'll think about it. I'm happy with
There is a
society.
non-committal choice.
Yeah, I'll think about it. It's pretty non-committal.
That is very non-committal.
Do you think we made a mistake becoming vampires is interesting?
I don't think he would say that because he was pretty like, "Woohoo, I'm a vampire now, bitches."
He was certainly like that before he became a vampire.
And then he was a little bit afterwards too.
Yeah. Curl says, I think Mark would be regretful.
I don't know. He's been pretty good with his vampire life so far.
Oh, damn it, Mark, why do you keep questioning your decision? It's interesting because he has questioned his decision.
But not but in an interesting way. It's more of like, do I have a soul anymore? Not like I wish I wasn't a vampire. Should I not have become a vampire? It's more just like, do I have a soul anymore?
Well,
like
also,
that's been his main query.
But it was also interesting because part of the vampire turning process was that like deep, like sorrow that you got in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so were his feelings of regret like part of that kind of weird chemical situation of like losing your soul? Is it like I'm kind of wondering where he's at, right? So here's my thought. Whether he's regretful or not,
I don't think he'd say it.
I don't know if he would tell it to them. You know what I mean? Like,
or out loud in general. I think it's still pretty internal. I don't think he does though. I don't think he regrets it.
He was all, wait, did the professor really want me or just want to keep me away from these guys? That is true. But that's not necessarily
But that's not necessarily regretting becoming a vampire.
Yeah. That would be like regret about being in the society. That would be like the tack to take if you're like, I think I should join these guys and just start murdering people.
Yes.
So I think he might have some like fleeting regrets, perhaps. Like, what does this mean for his relationship with his girlfriend, who might not be his girlfriend anymore?
They weren't ever official. So
they also were never official.
They went on one date and he asked about a second. She was like,
I'll think about it. I'm thinking I'll think about it.
I'm thinking I'll think about it too.
Because that's non-committal and gets him perhaps out of there without being murdered.
Yes, without being murdered.
Yeah.
It might keep
I'll
them
think about it.
cordial for a longer period of time.
Yeah. Like, you just gotta, oh, hey, we can check what our,
yes.
what our scores are. Let's see. Okay. Full up with the Enforcer.
Oh.
It's got a little bit of House of Skulls. Humanity's a little bit half and half.
This is the first House of Skulls we've gotten.
It is the first House of Skulls, but no Bloodlust, so that's pretty good. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Damien nodded.
Think about joining us. All the best bands play here. Music is good.
I kind of feel
It's not a great pitch.
It's not a great pitch.
It's not a great pitch.
Like, I bet I could go to the...
Not for a party kid maybe, but he's a nerd.
Yeah, he is a nerd. Also, I just sort of feel like if you want to see the bands, you could probably just go see the bands.
See the bands. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they don't let you in the club unless...
There's other clubs. And again, we decided Ed Sheeran's for his typical shtick. So...
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not even Charlie visits?
Yeah, and also they've been giving him like long-term benefits and things. Like the society was like, yes, we offer they sound like they have 401ks.
Yeah, and maybe internships. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl says a better pitch would be Genju will go out with you for Mark. That's probably true. I feel like, well, it depends on where his feelings are for Jody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also depends on who said, like, if she approached him, if Genju did, that might be different. But if Damien did, I think that would be...
Yeah.
Right? Michelson was, all the greatest bands. One of my mentors got to go see a Mozart concert live. Nice.
That jazz guy? Nope. Is he your progenitor?
Don't say.
Him? No. Professor Michelson is.
Why did you tell them? Mark.
Because he's an idiot.
Don't tell them who your progenitor is because you already know that Professor Michelson is like the head enforcer dude. Like, he's like the enforcer.
Yeah. And they probably know that too because they didn't like him at all.
Right. and you know that they don't like each other. Like, chill.
Mark, you
Mark.
don't have to say who your progenitor is.
No, you don't have to say a lot of things.
There's a lot of things you don't have to say. But, here he is.
Low wisdom.
No, very low. Oh, they might not let him leave now. Slamming a nearby table with his palm, fury crossed Damien's face, but he quickly tampered it down. His voice sounded odd.
Also, here's the thing, Mark. You were there when Professor Michelson murdered one of their friends who was trying to kill you. Again,
Yeah.
I'd maybe just like...
Yeah, I know he didn't say who the vampire was that was trying to kill him.
Yeah. Big old skull. I'm just going to say, congratulations, says Missile Monkey. You suck at lying. Did not put any points in manipulation or subterfuge. Cool.
The enforcer of the damn code. Listen to me. The professor is dangerous. The killer of vampire kind. He doesn't just enforce the code, he breaks it.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean?
No vampire drinks from another, but I heard he does. He drained another like us before. Sucked him dry. Leave him before he decides to make a meal out of you.
Interesting. Wait, hadn't we heard that maybe he had drunk from another vampire?
From Charlie.
Yeah, what was that about? We'll have to ask. And if we're Mark, we'll probably just ask.
We'll just ask. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh my.
Damien's eyes had a wild look.
It's not a rumor the culture of love made up after a few puffs of reefer. It's true. You'd better stay away from him. He's dangerous. Forced to link and kill his creator. He crosses lines none of us does.
Oh. Baldtail says, what's a little dabbler amongst friends? Right? Missile Monkey says, congratulations, you just painted a target on your own chest, idiot. So I wonder, okay, so he forced a link and killed his creator. So was his creator, like, bad and murderous?
That is a question. Like, what? That sounds like you're going to have to talk with Charlie and or Professor Michelson.
Talk to Charlie, is what I would guess. I would say maybe talk to Charlie about it, right? Right?
He's right. Damien and I are close, but we'd never drink each other's blood. It might sound kinky, but it connects you to another. Too much of it, and you don't know the difference between what you're doing and what he's doing.
Interesting.
What kind of vamp would drink from another? You tell me.
I don't know. We've only just become a vampire.
We're new.
We're new? Come on. We don't know yet.
Mark knew the answer. Only the desperate or the curious, like someone who'd want to know the history and everyone else's secrets. If his progenitor was old, Mark could see the professor crossing that line.
I don't know. I imagine there are other motivations for doing that, right?
There has to be. But again, Mark, dump stat wisdom. He might not be thinking of all the possibilities.
I just feel like there are probably possibilities. Schmelzer, it's my first day! Pearl says, so they have blood bonds? Yes. Missile Monkey, I mean, we're not anarchs here. Well, these mooks probably are. They probably are, actually.
Probably are, yeah.
Yeah. Do like Damien's pants. Quite a lot.
Let's go. The headliner's about to start.
Okay.
I don't like that sudden attitude shift.
Yeah, also, I just think it's weird that one girl had 3 days old makeup. Was she just there in the basement for 3 days?
Just
like
keeps coming down. Like, well, it says it gives you a high, so she's probably like an
strung
addict.
out? Yeah, I just... Too worrisome. Also, what's up with that vampire hunter outside? I don't like it.
Yeah, he probably knows the skulls are here and wants to take them out.
Probably, because they murder people.
They do. A foreign accent spoke besides them.
Damien, I see you have our Tyro.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, because he did call out for help internally.
Yes, he did.
Someone came.
Someone did come. Okay.
The leader, the founder.
Missile Monkey says donor junkie. Yep. Yep. Okay, well, let's see what we got.
Damien stiffened and then stood slowly up and glared at the trespasser.
He's free to leave. We all are in the skulls. If he wants to stay, he's welcome to.
You'd better go home, Tyro. Your progenitor is looking for you.
That sounds a little patronizing.
A little bit.
Little bit. Sounds
Little
like, run away, go home, kid. Your dad's looking, your mom's looking for you, your dad's looking for you. You know, that kind of thing.
Damien sneered.
And of course, go run home to your papa.
Yeah, I understand. Don't want to make your enforcer angry. Remember what I said, Mark.
Such snark.
Such snark. I'm worried myself personally.
I'm taking the twins back with me.
Uh-oh. Is this gonna cause trouble?
This is gonna cause trouble.
Run home now, Sonny. Oh, okay.
Oh, with that, Mark quickly left with his friends.
Okay, so it wasn't a problem. Probably because Belmonte was there. Okay.
Probably. Yes.
Okay. All right. Not bad. Not bad.
Right. You take over reading.
Yes.
I'm going to listen and feed the cat.
Oh, yes. Feed the cat. If
It
there's a choice...
is kitty cat dinner time. If there's a choice, I'll be back. It takes me like less than 2 minutes to feed cats. So.
Okay. As Mark walked on campus, he noticed a man with disheveled hair standing there. Oh, it was Professor Michelson. Professor Michelson has disheveled hair. Strange. Mysterious. And he promptly declared war on the skulls. Well, his hair's not that disheveled. It looks fine. Standing on the pebble walkway with crossed arms, his deep purple eyes were from lack of sleep. When the professor saw Mark, his eyes widened to a wild stare. This is a very strange interaction already, and we've just started.
Uh-oh. Looks like you're in trouble.
Yeah, wait, trouble.
I guess we'll see you around.
Oh. Well, okay. Clamping his sweaty palms into a fist, Mark kept his head low as he walked over the gravel. He didn't even do anything. He stopped in front of Michelson, but didn't look at his face, afraid to see what was there. Instead, Mark felt waves of righteous anger through their progenitor Tyro. The rolling tempest was kept back by whatever little patience lingered within the older vampire. Whew. You know, he didn't even stay out past curfew. Just saying, it's not... Stepping with strong strides, the professor looked as though he could push his apprentice off a building. He talked with chipped syllables as he led Mark toward the center of the campus. Exhaling, he spoke in a gruff voice. I wonder what any student who's walking around on campus thinks seeing this.
How could you? How could you be so stupid? I thought I chose a smart Tyro, not a fool.
Well,
Scruffy and Tesla are fit.
Oh, nice. Mickelson's upset.
I would imagine so.
You know, he thinks
he seems the type.
Yeah, he thinks that Mark's a fool. The anger behind his words pressed...
He's not alone.
I know, right? Pressed down around them.
I left you a message on your phone.
That's good. Shit. His excuse sounded lame, even to him.
And then you never answered your phone. That's really being a genius.
Oh, Professor Michelson. You didn't answer your phone, huh, Mark? Uh-oh. Grabbing Mark's shoulders, he squeezed until they hurt. Let's just hope nobody sees this
Michelson
on campus. Also, that's a little, that's a little handsy.
You never checked in with me. Not even once to say you were okay.
Joe?
You're a brand new vampire. It's not safe for anyone to be traveling with you, especially humans.
Aww. He cares. He shows it with a little bit too much potence, says Missile Monkey.
Your RA opened
Yeah.
your room for me when I couldn't contact you. What did he find? Your cell phone. I thought that you'd regretted your choice and went wandering God knows where.
Aw, He's like so worried about him. He's afraid he's gonna go watch the sunrise and die.
I was okay. I was with the twins and...
Oh yeah, that's okay. Now you're gonna tell him, and
just digging a hole, digging a hole.
He sniffed Mark's shoulder and sneered.
Vampires. What's this? Human blood. Please tell me you didn't hunt.
He didn't have a drop,
vampires.
Professor Michelson. He was a good boy.
He was a good boy. Rissa, yep, let's not shout about it all in public. And Kron's like, well, now I know that Michelson is a Toreador. He kind of feels like he could be a venturer, you know? He, stilled and concerned, fled from their link. Something cold and calculating replaced it. Oh, that's worrisome.
Hunt? You mean chase down humans?
Maybe old school brouhaha. The professor reached into his tweed jacket pocket and held something against his chest. A wooden stake peeked from the material flap of his jacket. His cold eyes studied Mark as he spoke in a hollow tone.
Goodness.
Whose blood do I smell?
Come on to my house.
Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Welcome in, Atomica. Thank you for the raid, Raiders. How are you, Raiders? Here, let me just go and give you our raid command in all the excitement. I should have that just, I don't know, automatically everywhere in all the space. You know what? Interesting. You cannot copy paste when you're using docs on OBS. I don't like that. I'm gonna just note it. I don't like it. I think his mentor might murder him. That's my thought. So, we're in the middle of a conflict where Michelson just might murder Mark Delaware, but Atomica donated 100 bits, and when bits or tips are donated in my video game streams, I sing "We're in the Money," as sung by Ginger Rogers in the film Gold Diggers of 1933, because that is where that song is from, not from 42nd Street. And she sings it in Pig Latin. And so I'm going to sing it in Pig Latin right now. Also, I do wonder if it's in Pig Latin in the Broadway musical, the more modern, the 42nd Street, they made a musical, 42nd Street, that's based off of basically kind of a mismatch of the film 42nd Street and Gold Diggers of 1933. I think they basically just wanted "We're in the Money" from 30. Whatever, I'm going to sing it. I'm not going to talk about Golden Age Hollywood and Broadway musicals doing revivals and whatnot. Atomic says, I got ketoed by Bigfoot for 3 hours. Ooh, I hope you're not too sore or won't be too sore tomorrow. Airway and hey, the anime. Airway and hey, the anime. Iway at gale at way extra ute at gale young way. Airway and hey, the anime. Either ice skates or any say. Oh man, the ADS pray, we are a udre, was stay on way on ray. Even if any eat red lions lay, way at brands lay, ute day. And we see the and the order look like the eye got in the eye, we're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. Lindy, that makes me so excited. Thank you very much for those bits, Atomica, and for the raid. You were getting a ketoed. That's bad. That would be a waste. The twins, on the other hand, they already tainted by being fed on. So Mark might get murdered right now. That's kind of where we're at right now. Mark might just get murdered. That's our life.
It was a girl from Charlie's lesson. Don't worry, I didn't hurt her.
Right?
Belmonte told me where he found you, at that damn House of Skulls. Don't ever do that again. Do you understand?
I feel like Professor Michelson is not very good at expressing his feeling.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, I think he could have said, Mark, I was really worried about you because the House of Skulls are trying to kill you, and they murder people on this campus all the time. They're sociopathic serial killers. As a matter of fact, one of them tried to murder you, and so I was very concerned, and I would really, really not like it if you hung out with them because they're dangerous. Ta-da! That seems like a good way to go, right?
That would be a good way to go, wouldn't it?
But I don't think.
Mark,
Not the way we going.
What do you mean? I mean, they're a little different, but like, Mark, they tried to murder you.
You did say I'll think about it.
Yeah, but that was like to get out of it.
Yeah, but Mark's dumb.
Riss is like, also still a little shouty for public. This is true. Involuntarily unalived.
Yeah.
No, you didn't think.
Yeah, no. At all. He returned the wooden object back into his jacket. Speaking to himself, he said,
He's only a week old, and my Tyro met the House of Skulls. Why them? Why not meet the Grim Reaper?
Is that an actual vampire, or is that metaphor? First crypto try. I don't think. Missile Monkey says, I would question how Belmonte got there so quickly. But, you know, Elder Celerity, absolutely. Ron says, it was not to get out of it. It didn't say lying. I just want to be able to lie in video games. That's all I want.
Do you know what those vampires could have done to you? They could have drained you dry, killed you for fun.
It's true, they could have done that. Mark's jaw dropped. There was no way that vampires could do that to each other, was there? You remember what Damien told him. His temper rose. I feel like vampires could probably kill each other if they wanted to, especially if they didn't like the rules. You know what I mean? I feel like that's all I'm saying. If I said no to everyone trying to kill me, I'd have no friends. Mark, probably.
Yeah.
Just like you drank from another vampire? Were you just thinking of killing me now?
I mean, he was thinking of killing me, but now it's awkward in public.
That's totally different. Sometimes, as Enforcer, there are things I hate to do each and every damn time.
Atomica says, theoretical question. Vampires have issues with silver. Mirrors are no longer made of silver. Would modern vampires be able to see their reflection now? Well, Atomica, it depends on your mythology. If you believe that the reason why vampires cannot see their reflection is because of silver and silver's alchemical properties, then yes, vampires can be seen in modern mirrors and also on video and DVD. But not
because we don't use silver in film anymore either.
Right, but an old film, no, but modern stuff, yes. But if you think the reason why within your lore vampires cannot be seen in mirrors is because they have no soul, and a mirror reflects your soul, then no, they wouldn't be able to be seen in modern mirrors or in any kind of like video film. So that's just a matter of like lore, your thoughts about how the Night's Black Agents book has a whole really interesting section about how to design your vampires, like what kind of lore you want to use, what are vampires symbolic of in your campaign, and if they're symbolic of disease, how you might want to manifest that, what kind of powers you want to give them. If they're symbolic of like what are they symbolic of, and how you can tailor your vampires to fit that, right? Can they be seen in, like, does UV rays harm them, or is it something else? Like, what is it? So I thought that was a really nice, because I like the ways in which it talked about how vampires can symbolize different things, and then what kind of pluses or minuses give them depend on that kind of symbology. And I know that Lindy could tell me what vampires symbolize. Actually, Lindy.
Yes.
You have gone through every single Ravenloft thing that has been published from first edition to the present day.
To a certain extent, yes. I have them all. I've flipped through most of them.
What do you think vampires symbolize in Ravenloft? And do you think that has changed through the various editions?
Oh, well, 5th edition Ravenloft is nowhere near any of the older editions of Ravenloft. Because in old Ravenloft, the OG Ravenloft, the kind I ran, each domain of dread, doesn't matter who you are, what terrible monster you might be, or if you're a human, they're convoluted prisons to contain the Dark Lord.
Hmm.
There's other vampire lords other than Strahd. There's, there's other things out there.
The truth is out there. That's what I learned from X-Files.
The truth is out there. And so, it depends. 5e, they've made a lot of changes, and it's like, oh yes, there's these domains of dread, but they don't really emphasize that each prison has been carefully created by the Dark Powers to be their own personal hell of the Dark Lord that they've trapped inside. Typically it's thematic. Like, Aslan wanted more knowledge and power and more magic, and so part of his curse is that he can't learn any new spells. Doesn't matter how much he reads them, doesn't matter how much he looks at them, he can't learn any new spells, and it drives him mad, especially since he wants out of the plane. Most of them do.
Carlin says Strahd's vampirism was a curse for his jealousy and murder of his brother and their mutual lover. So interesting. So that's now vampirism as a curse, which is interesting, right? Because like there's so many different ways, like vampire is sexually transmitted disease, vampirism as curse, especially like all different ways of sort of manifesting it. That's really fascinating.
A bite, you have to drink the blood. There's so many different variations, but I liked. I know it's not specific to vampires, but how each one is designed to be their own personal hell.
That's very interesting.
Because part of his curse was also, yes, he's a vampire forever, but the girl who, Irina, keeps getting reincarnated in that domain, and he can never have her.
Oh.
So he lives forever, and he sees her, and every time he tries, it just doesn't work out.
Oh,
she dies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Because he killed his brother, and then she threw herself off the tower.
Rissa says,
yeah.
Then you have vampirism by dumb luck, aka
Mark. Yes.
Well, this is interesting because in this one it seems as if vampirism is, well, it's the society is framing it as something positive, right? Like a possible gift when you lose your soul, perhaps, but like you can then live this long time and experience all these things, right? So, and also they also don't have. They can still be in the daylight. Like these vampires can be in the daylight.
It burns. It's not pleasant, but they can make it happen. Yeah.
So they're not as constrained, right, as vampires in other sorts of lore. So that's interesting. Or in Guillermo del Toro's version, it's both a virus and a curse. Yeah.
And then you have Castlevania. There's so many different variations. Blade movies.
I love that.
So
though,
What We Do in the Shadows. There's so many different vampires.
Yeah, I love that. That makes me very happy. That's the thing.
You can curate your own personal headcanon of favorites.
Yes. Here,
cool. You didn't answer my question. What about your progenitor?
Mark.
I want to know how these black skull people found out about, or silver skull people.
Yeah, like does
they know all this?
Does everybody know this?
Is this common knowledge? Like, what's up?
How many vampires are there in the world? How cliquish are they? Like, how much do they talk? Did he kill his progenitor, like, in public? Like, what? I want to know. Something flashed across Michelson's face.
Big wig in the vampire community or something? Yeah.
Right, before he stilled his expression.
As far as my progenitor goes, that's another story. I did drink from my creator. I did what my father asked me to do. I obeyed him, like you're supposed to obey me.
So, Professor Michelson, some advice. That, like, obey language in this moment with your teenage vampire son is probably not the best. Not the best. I wouldn't go for that right away. You know, I just feel like it's perhaps not.
If I ever hear that you joined the Skulls on a hunt, yes, I will kill you without a second thought. Are you surprised?
Okay.
The Skulls are known to break the code and hunt humans. Have you forgotten? I ended the one who tried to murder you. He was Damien's friend. Damien's a devious leader and will try to use you to get revenge on me. Never forget it.
Yep. I mean, he seems very happy. Teenage Mutant Vampire Son is not the Ninja Turtle spinoff I was expecting, but I'll take it. Fair. Sharp fangs protruded from Professor Michelson's sneer. Michelson was dangerous. Mark understood why he was chosen to be the enforcer. But who was telling the truth? Was Damien right, or was it his mentor?
They could both be telling some truth.
Yeah, also, right now, there's not really a contradiction between what they've said.
There's not.
Right? Like, yeah, and some of the things that might be contradictory are just opinions. Like, he's he's dangerous. He'll kill
Mark.
you.
Opinions. Like, people have those. Not everything is fact in textbook.
Also, though, some of them are not even really contradictory. Like, Damien's like, he'll murder you, and Michelson's like, yeah, if you do bad things, I'll murder you. Which
I'll murder you.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it seems fairly consistent, right? Michelson is an inexperienced progenitor, and Mark is an inexperienced hero, and an idiot.
It was a mistake to let you out of my sight before you were at least a year old. Starting from today, you'll be barred from the society.
What?
How does this make any sense?
That makes no sense. It sounds to me like starting from today, you should be, like, only in the society, although he's not graduated from college yet, so he can't really do that. And because that would raise questions about, like, where Mark went. And also, you want to give him, like, an internship with whatever, so he does need to get his degree. Also, if he's barred from the society, that means he's not hanging out with a vampire, so who do you think he's going to hang out with?
Humans. Yes.
Humans or the House of Skulls. I'm just saying Michelson.
Yeah. Michelson. Why? What?
Bad choices.
Charlie was teaching him some good things.
Yeah. It's weird. Life alone as a vampire would be torture. Some people manage better by themselves, but Mark never figured himself as that type of person. Yeah. Loneliness. How long could someone last by themselves without anyone who'd understand? First off, you know that Michelson's not going to stop talking to you, so I'll have Michelson.
Yeah, but he's in his rebellious teenage vampire phase.
It's true. It's true. It's true. The professor pulled open the door to the teaching theater.
You'll be banned from the society meetings until they meet again at Mrs. Violet's house. That'll be 4 months. Until then, you'll train each weekend with me.
No spring break road trip for you.
The city.
Yeah, I actually think that's probably a good idea. I don't think he should go on that spring break road trip. I think that's a bad idea. One of my mods would ban cyanide, the whatnot, what if y'all are here? Otherwise, it's fine. I just have to switch cursors.
I'd do it, but I'm not a mod.
Do you want to be a mod?
I don't know. It seems like a heavy sword to wield.
It is a pretty heavy sword because after all, the people in the foxhole are just so dangerous. Let's see. I need to. Rissa Band. Aw, thanks, Rissa. Rissa Band. I don't want any kind of spam people hanging out and doing the spammy things. That's no fun.
No spam.
No spam. No spam. I mean, like, I do like.
The only spam comes in a can.
Hey, do you like spam?
Okay.
It's okay too. People like to make fun of it, but like
I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Same.
It's okay. Pretty indifferent to spam.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like the Weird Al song Spam.
Yeah, that's a good song. I think I've had spam in some kind of dish that was pretty tasty. It was like a very 1950s sort of a dish. I think it was at some kind of.
Oh, I like spam musubi.
Oh, nice. I know that there's like a Hawaiian sushi that comes with spam.
That's musubi.
Is it? Nice.
It's a sushi. It's spam sushi basically.
It was good. Rissa says it has its uses. Fried rice. Oh yeah, everyone's talking about spam musubi. Grew up eating spam on the farm. It's great fried. Yeah, I've had fried spam, and that was actually quite good.
It's like fried bologna. It's better fried.
Axe says also the more people who report that bot will also get more immediate action from Twitch itself. Oh, good. Crow says I like spam the Monty Python sketch. That's also a good sketch. He gave Mark a cruel smile. Mark sulked.
What's the problem? You're a vampire. 4 months should be nothing to you. You've got eternity. Just focus on graduating.
Yeah, Mark, focus on your studies.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Relief flooded Mark. He wouldn't be isolated forever. 4 months should be easy.
And then that's going to be like 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later. Ah! That's huge. Also,
losing his mind.
Also, we're gonna save right here. Oh.
That's a good idea, I think. Oh, the twins.
Yeah, we're gonna save right here.
They're gonna be like, Mark.
Hey, come on, why don't you hang out with us? Hang out with us, Mark.
Mark.
Come
We're really
out to
pale and
play.
bruised.
Let's save this game right. Hey, Lindy, did you see my new cursor? My new mouse? Did I show it to you?
No.
Look what I got. Here, let's see. It's like a little.
Oh yeah. You did show me. You did show me.
How cool is that, right? I was like, oh, neat. Cool. Okay, this is you. This is your reading.
A knock came at Mark's door as the twins peeked their heads inside his room. They were paler than usual and had many sets of double bruises on their neck and arms.
Okay, so let's talk about subtlety. I feel like this is not subtle.
No.
That said...
If you joined the House of Skulls, you wouldn't be grounded.
Axes, I love spam. Spam musubi, spam in stir fry, spam with rice and runny eggs. Yum. Mr. says, can I get spam, eggs, and spam without the spam? No. So just eggs? Not allowed. It's interesting because there's a thing that people don't. You know, when you get the sort of like the vampire lore, you like a bite, right, and then like lick the thing and then close up the wound. But you never get you rarely get descriptions of bruising afterwards. When I imagine you would have had bruising, right? Even
depending on the lore. Yeah.
Even if you lick up the wound. Yeah. I know you don't watch horror films, but I still want you to watch The Hunger.
Standing up, Mark asked him what the hell happened.
Damien was a little angry today. He takes it out when he drinks.
I don't know why you want to hang out with this guy.
Sounds like an unhealthy
On us.
relationship.
Yeah, this seems like a bad relationship.
Why was he so upset?
Awkward.
Yeah.
He ran into Professor Michelson. Your professor told Damien off and was supposed to leave you alone. As if we'd listen to him. You need to break his rules.
First off, you're not even a vampire.
Yeah, you're a donor. I mean, well, Kyle looks fierce.
He does look fierce.
His twin doesn't look he looks sad.
Yeah, some normies would just figure that those two are users. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. Kyle likes some hardcore music.
Yeah.
Nate likes My Chemical Romance.
I was about to say My Chemical Romance.
See, I love it when a Lindy and a Trooper are on the same train of thought, is what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying.
The Skulls will hang out with whoever they want. Why don't you come and join them? Then we could always stay friends.
But you're not a vampire, so what do you mean we can always stay friends?
Always. You won't always be alive.
Right?
Bro. Especially at the rate you're going.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of blood loss.
Give him a couple months at best.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Anemic right there.
Yeah, anemia. It's a bad thing.
It's a bad look.
Bad look. Get some vitamin D. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you think the Society of the Arts will let you keep hanging with us?
It's a good question. Because
they aren't vampires. They're just donors.
I think you're allowed to hang out with donors, but you're donors to,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Miss Silmuck says, and we just need we need Laugh Love Lindy, Trooper, and Little Red Dot on the same page. It happens. It happens. These two give blood because they were promised vampirism in the end. I bet, Krellin, you're right. That was Krellin. I'm sure that is absolutely true. You know what I mean?
We'll slowly drain you over a period of months to years, and then when you're about to die, that's when we'll turn you. When you're so weak.
So, did you watch the video? The Adobo
Not
video?
Not yet. No. I've been busy.
It's fair. I passed Lindy. So there's a comedian on YouTube who goes by the name Uncle Roger. His name's actually Nigel, but he pretends to be a character named Uncle Roger who reviews cooking videos of Asian food for the most part and how bad they are. I think he got famous by saying very bad things about what's his face, the guy, the British stir-fried rice guy.
Oh, Jamie Oliver.
That's right, Jamie Oliver. Anyway, he's hilarious. Trooper Lydia Dot would be a great coterie to watch. Also, it says Ice Buddy, the snack's up to no good. Lo-Fi Prince says, when you're too weak to fight us on the decision to deny you. Yep. It's visual. It's a novel. How my novel? It's visual novel time. Hey, Diesel Shot. No, it was Jamie Oliver, not Gordon Ramsay. But same blonde British dudes. Oh, we have a choice now.
Oh,
Diesel Shot, you're awesome. Shot. Diesel Shot, by the way, is awesome. Diesel Shot's doing the RPG Change Stars, and it's like in development. It's doing its thing. It's very cool. It's a nice space RPG. I am a fan, and you should check it out. The only fried rice option that matters is Uncle Roger, and I will die on this hill. It's true. Uncle Roger likes. Okay, so what do we do with this? Why don't you just stop hanging out with Damien? You chose to be used by the house. Okay, that second one seems really.
It seems very aggressive.
It seems very aggressive, and he seems.
I mean, it's not wrong, but it does seem very aggressive.
And also, I don't know if they really chose to be used by the House of Skulls with informed consent. I imagine the consent was not all that informed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, why don't you become donors for a different vampire coterie?
Because I imagine the House of Skulls will kill them, because I don't seem like the kind of people. I just feel like the consent is questionable with the House of Skulls. Yeah. Now, the problem is, I think that his friends will not respond well to either one of these options.
I don't think they will. But I think Mark, non-confrontational Delaware, would probably choose the first one.
Yeah, I agree. Using the cursey words and making Americans blush. I see we got some boys and some dialogue. It's VN time! It is indeed. Missile Monkey says, but of course Uncle Roger can't cook worth a darn himself, proven by Joshua Weissman. Although he did pretty decent, once or twice, right? He's
yeah, he made a fried rice one that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Just stop hanging out with Damien.
He also made, I don't know if you saw this, but he just did recently Jamie Oliver's fried rice recipe. And nobody liked it. Because, it was a lot of olive oil.
Ooh, oh, you can't use olive oil in fried rice.
Someday they promised to make us into
What's
one of them.
wrong with people?
We're going to be vampires too.
Yep, Krellin called it.
Yep.
Krellin called it. Yep. They, I don't know about that whole promise thing. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
You have to survive that.
You really think he'll make you into a vampire?
Mark, with the we see you. You clearly put a couple points in psychology, perhaps.
Why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he? Because
you're donor. That's why. I don't
Honey.
think they can keep biting random club girls. Somebody will find out. You are his steady blood supply.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, you know what, Mark
has been learning. I bet Professor Michelson gave him the vampire textbook for dummies to read over, and he's been reading some of it.
That's good. I mean, he's also, it doesn't sound like he wants to hang out with them necessarily, the Skulls. I don't know.
But for how long? How long do you think you can handle being bit, being food? What will they do the day you say no?
Again, these are very good questions that Mark is asking. I will note he only asked them because his friends. Why would you trust the recipe from the Naked Chef? Hawkeye says, when you least expect it, Mark starts to think. I know, right? Carlin says, you did say he had int, Lindy, so he could be a fast learner. Yeah, he should be a fast learner. Yeah,
but it needs to be textbooks. It needs to be he needs to be taught things.
Yeah.
Or read them. He's not necessarily an observational learner.
Yeah, you know what might else be a thing? He might just need a lot of time to process.
I think so.
Because we have seen him. It's that perception, right? We've seen him not be good in the moment, but maybe
terrible in the moment.
Very terrible in the moment. Maybe after some time, right? He can get that It's interesting, right? Because now we're thinking about int versus perception, about fast versus slow. Right? Yeah, he's going to turn you, right? But that means you'd have to find new occasional snacks. Think, McFly, think. I wonder if you can think about there are sometimes some RPGs will make the distinction between slow and fast, right? So perception versus investigation, right? Perception is seeing things in the moment, right? Whereas investigation is seeing things over long term. And maybe he's like that. He's not good in that moment, but then once he gets the time, right?
So now you're vampires. You think you're better than us. That you know more than us.
Maybe he just has more perspective. I mean, the blood loss is probably getting to you a little bit, Nate.
Yeah.
Brain fog is a big thing with low iron.
Yep. High int, low wit, says Carlin. Yeah, I think that's true. And thank you for the time. Carlin, World of Darkness has intelligence for long-term thinking and wits for in-the-moment thinking. Yeah. And I always think it's really interesting to think about like the long versus the short and whether or not games will sort of have that. Rissa, so Call of Cthulhu 7th edition has basically a couple of basically short-term things, but like some games, GURPS has a distinction between short-term deception and long-term deception, right? So fast talk versus acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so fast talk is just like the flim flam, ha 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 ha, whoa, right? And then acting is like being like undercover for a long time. It's not the flim flam. And people like, if you flim flam somebody with fast talking, they'll probably figure it out afterwards. But like with acting, probably not. Yeah. And Mark, it's hard to think straight when you're hypoxic. Probably actually true. Actually, Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't. Some of us aren't as lucky as you.
Ooh, see, I'm just saying.
His friends are just jelly.
Yeah, or persuade for well-reasoned arguments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or I feel like some of them, I feel like Mark maybe not appreciate how non-consensual the situation is with his two friends. Ooh, for a split. This is you.
Called it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for a split second, something like envy
Name
crossed their
game.
faces.
Ooh.
They're jelly.
You're jelly. Volpez, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, on M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Volpez, banana, fanner, fofopez, fee, fi, mo, mopez. Volpez, the name game. Woo! Thank you for that resub, Volpez. Yes? Yes. Yeah, I'm just here for the MO. This is so... Thank you. Hey, so nice. I got so many things. So they're envious.
Lucky. I'm this way because I was attacked. I didn't have much time to make my choice.
Attacked by your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh, big choices, everybody. But I don't regret becoming a vampire. I wish I wasn't a vampire.
I think the top one.
Yeah.
Just a quick look at those. I think it's got to be the top one.
Because I don't
think he'd rather root the skulls.
No.
And I don't think he wishes he wasn't.
Yes. I mean, I mean, he could
He's
say
initially
that.
all pouty, then he was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, 3 months is nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I could maybe see if things had gone slightly differently, he might say that, but I don't think he'd say it just yet. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's there. I think he's still thinking about options and possibilities. So here's my question for you. I mean, you know what? He's going to say it because he's going to say it. I sort of feel like I don't regret becoming a vampire is probably not going to help your argument with your two friends right now.
No.
Although I don't think any of those really
would.
Yeah. And I think that last one might help with your friends, but it's a bad idea.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. The twins are so green, they're positively glowing.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't make a choice. I'm sorry, I have to make a choice. Sorry. We'll go with that top one. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I don't regret becoming a vampire.
Okay. Good.
Life as a vampire isn't perfect. There's sacrifices.
Oh, this is good. This is good. This like lets him seem a bit more clear-eyed about things. He's thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like this clearly could not have been too... We must have had like at least a couple of days or so, like a week or something for him to process, right? Because he's in a sort of a better space, I think. Yeah. Prof says, actually, in this argument, I wish I would be the one that would work. The thing is, it might work unless his friends are like, yeah, you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, they might take that as a weird provocation as friends.
Well, it didn't seem like you had an option. We have options.
Yeah, like, it would be different for us. Like, that's
We've
the
had
thing.
a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah, like, they might be just the whole, like, it'd be different for us because we're like, cool.
We're cool.
Jody and I broke up.
Yeah, but you broke up. You know, we're not going to talk about you breaking up with Jody. We could, but we're not going to, because instead we're going to go and check out our stats. How are we doing? What are our stats like right now? Okay.
I feel like there would have been other ones that were better than Jody and I broke up. Sure.
Sure. A lot of other things. Oh, okay. Hey, we and the twins are doing very well. Right? That's really good. I can't go work on my tan. Food tastes like ash, and my dentist has so many questions. That's actually very fair. I spend not all shops open 24/7, so going into shops of vampires limited. Volpus is like, oh, so the Twilight Defense. My love life sucks. I
really hope he expands on more than just Jody and I broke up.
Yeah, me too.
But it's Mark, so we might not get more of an elaboration than that.
I thought you were going to say something big.
Yeah.
See, Nate was listening to Lindy, and wanted something a little bit more.
Oof. Like, oh, you feel like your soul's getting crushed and taken away. You feel empty afterwards. Yeah.
That's a good one. You could go with that one. You could go with the turning process is very harrowing, emptiness inside, like, you know.
A lot of people don't survive the turning process.
Sure. And that the hole inside can only be filled by Ed Sheeran. Like, there are a lot of things you could say that might have, helped in this moment. It's all
yeah.
I thought you were in or.
Oh, come on, Mark. Please expand.
Expand. I thought you were into her. Yeah. He was.
Did Professor Michelson make you two break up? Like, he's separating you from your friends?
No, that's not why.
No, it's because he did not look before he ate, is what happened.
Yep. Mark didn't like how they asked that. Like, somehow he was the professor's dog. I mean, they're not fully wrong, but also they're not completely right either, so yeah.
And also, they're wearing studded outfits, which means they don't like authority, so they're going to find any kind of mentorship relationship as negative. So, I mean,
They're not TAs.
They're not TAs. No, they are not TAs. They're not TAs.
Mark's a TA.
Yes. Vulpus, I miss my garlic bread? Missile Monkey says, you can only go to 7-Eleven at midnight so many times before you run out of the decent things to eat. Missile Monkey, it's so true. You go to that 7-Eleven and all the good stuff is gone. And there's just like that sad old hot dog in that little spinner thing, and it's so sad and gross.
I can't be with her unless she's a donor. The code says that only human donors may know what we are. And before you even suggest it, I won't bring her into this world. You may not understand it, but it's for the best.
But couldn't you? This is gonna sound
turn
bad.
her into a vampire?
No, can you just be with her for a while and lie? Like, you don't have to tell her you're a vampire.
But if she figures it out, then there's only three options: turn into a vampire, become a donor, or die.
Yeah, that's true.
And she seems like the type who'd find out. She had a good perception.
Yeah, she did have a good perception check. She's like, Mark, how come you don't have a heartbeat? I feel like that would come up pretty quickly with her, because I feel like
that would come up pretty quickly with her.
Yeah, I feel like she's pretty smart. That's all. That hot dog has been spinning since 10 a.m. Yes. It's not teacher's pet, not teacher's animal. No. If you're lucky, it might have been there since sunrise. Ooh, yeah. Let's see.
No, I think I get it. You like her a lot.
Oh, look, they're being friendly again.
Mark exhaled and calmed himself. Now tell him about the other bad things, Mark.
The other bad things.
Not just, I couldn't be with Jody anymore.
I chose this. Officially, I'll be introduced to all the vampires in Colorado this week.
Oh.
I'm sticking with the society. I don't really trust Damien yet.
Why would you trust Damien? Why would you trust Damien? I just feel like that's really weird with the... Anyway, also, He's going to be introduced to all the vampires in Colorado this week, like all of them. So it's been 4 months.
All of them.
At least. Has he? But he's still not graduated yet because he's living in a dorm. How long has passed?
I said it was 3 months.
Maybe. Also,
maybe it's the end of semester. Like he just finished exams and he hasn't moved out of the dorm yet.
Perhaps.
Like he's gonna meet all the vampires and then move out.
Yeah.
The graduation ceremony, etc., etc.
Is there gonna be like a prom, like a vampire prom? Like, when how this happen?
I hope so.
I have a question.
Whatever.
I want vampire prom.
Sunrise hot dog is best hot dog, except it's indiscernible from beef jerky. Okay. Oh. The next morning, Mark thought to wait for the twins to walk to class together. He changed his mind. Pissed off with them, he left the dorm early. Why is he mad at them? Is vampire prom like monster prom?
Yes.
Goth prom. Yes. Why did he leave early? Sunshine burst between the leaves of the giant oak trees, casting broken shadows over the sidewalk. Where there was no shade, Mark felt the strong sun drain him. But you can walk out in the sun, which means, you
just feel like shit.
Yeah, that's all. Like you've got a sun allergy.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a documentary about people with sun allergies, though. Like really bad ones.
It's not good. Oh, it's real bad.
It's real bad. That and they won't exactly be going to class as usual. Yeah, I kind of just don't feel like Nate and Kyle go to class all the time. Also, I can't imagine they have morning classes. Like, I just can't imagine that Nate and Kyle chose classes early morning if they could all help it. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie was right.
I didn't.
Right? Sometimes I have to. Usually I have to like once a week, but my life. Charlie was right. Even after getting used to his vampire life, the sun was exhausting. Eventually, he hid beneath the shade of the history building. I find it quite convenient that as long as you're in the shade, even if you're out in the bright daylight, you'll be not so bad. It's only like direct sunlight on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying vampires as Vulpes? I feel like crap going out in the sun. Hawkeye says, yeah, people with XP have it rough. Yeah, right? I mean, it just seems like it's, yeah. In the documentary said it had to do with kids. Like they were like, 12, 13, 14. And like, there's this one kid who's like, all their siblings didn't have it. And so like they got to play outside in the day and the kid could not, right? They had it. I was like, oh. One of his professors spotted him. It was Brother Luke. His French
Brother Luke
professor.
got in an altercation with Professor Michelson one time. Mm-hmm.
They had a breakup. He calmly walked to him wearing the robes of his order. Which order is that, by the way?
The Vampire Hunter Order.
Brother.
I don't know.
Because I don't know which monks wear blue robes.
Bonjour.
The Vampire Hunting Order.
Nice. Tim, thank you, Rissa. Trooper, you just need to accept that sunlight isn't deadly to vampires after twilight. I mean, I suppose it just depends on, I'm just curious about, the parameters of the sun situation, right? Because some, so for example, the reason why I'm asking is because I have a plant, right? It's a Chinese evergreen, and it doesn't like to be in direct sunlight, but, how indirect is indirect? That's my question. Also, I think I'm either overwatering it or underwatering it, and I just don't know which one. I might be underwatering it, but I'm afraid of... You know what? Anyway, an uncomfortable pressure grew the closer the brother walked towards Mark. Mark couldn't look directly at him. At first he wondered why, then he saw the giant cross around the brother's neck. Sweat broke on Mark's brow. His breaths came faster. He had to act normal. Pretend like you're not high.
I'm graduating soon.
Pretend like you're not a vampire.
Can't wait to walk across the stage, get my diploma, and get out of here.
Oh, Mark.
Ah, Mark.
Congratulations, then. You're an outstanding student. I know your future will be bright.
So Brother Luke doesn't know that he's a vampire yet, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Mark liked Brother Luke. As a professor, he was funny and demanding as he taught French. As a religious clergyman, he debated with Mark, trying to convince Mark of the importance of the soul and its relationship with God. Awkward. He extended his robed arm and grasped as Mark reluctantly shook his hand. Mark knew what the brother felt. Mark's body temperature was cold and dry. Questions?
Time to wear gloves, Mark.
looking at Mark as though he could see through him. Brother Luke's face settled in a scowl. I mean, right. Schmelzer says, well, his
Brother
future...
Luke's figured it out.
Right. Well, his future won't be that bright considering the whole sunlight situation, says Schmelzer. Missile Monkey says, not too bright, kind of limiting. Have to stick to those night shift jobs. And Rissa notes, maybe you should have listened to the brother better before all of this. But also, I feel like his future's so bright he's got to wear shades.
I wonder what this path would have been like if we had chosen donor.
I know, right? Or I don't know what would happen. I don't even know what would happen. A hollow feeling sat in Mark's gut. He felt like he would pass out. The presence of the man was too strong. It felt good, perhaps even holy. It was as though it came from his spirit. But how could that be? Mark barely considered himself an agnostic, yet he felt something more than what the five senses could tell him. The brother whispered the next word.
Mark, what have you done?
You know, again, choice is a little bit tricky.
I tell you, but I break the code.
There's a code. Vulpus says, well, with Brother Luke it might be bright, as in a flaming pyre. Brother Luke won't kill him. Oh, what? Come on now. What? Come on.
Don't bite him.
No, Mark.
That's so not Mark.
That Mark is not the biting type. You know what I mean? Like,
he barely managed to bite that one girl at that house party.
It was real.
Please.
Yeah, come on. No. Come on. I don't know. Do you think that Mark would bite him if he were part of the Skulls?
Maybe. That seems like a Skullish thing to do.
Perhaps. Although also not smart because you're in public. Do you know what I mean?
Yes! In broad daylight.
In broad daylight. When you're weak. And he's got the power of true faith. I'm just saying, I feel like... Anyway, he's gonna listen. Absolutely. Mark shivered. Mark wasn't a Catholic and was indifferent to Christianity. However, at that moment, he knew the brother sensed something more from him. Maybe there was something significant in religious training. It was as if he knew his secret. Brother Luke's hand flashed and grasped his cross against his chest. Uh-oh.
What do you mean? I'm still me. Let's leave it at that.
Vulpus, no giving a hickey to Professor. Nope. Missile Monkey says...
And a monk.
Yeah, knowing Mark, he'll miss and lose his head, falling into direct sunlight. Then he'd be played by Jack, the guy from his company. Mark stepped around the man and Brother Luke called out.
Remember that God is always there for you. Trust in him. Your soul is worth so much more.
I kind of feel like it's a little bit too late for that, right? Because
Isn't it though? That's what I'm like.
John Ritter, thank you, Valtiel. I kind of like, I've not yet heard within lore that you can get your soul back.
Unvampired?
Yeah. Vulpes, Brother Luke, played by Idris Elba. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, again, I don't know, maybe in lore there is a way to get your soul back. I don't.
I mean, in D&D, if you can kill the vampire person and then cast revive, as long as it's been within a year, technically.
What about...
Because they have to be dead, not undead.
What about
you just have to have the body and the soul has to be willing. Oh, true resurrection, again, they have to be dead, not undead. So you have to kill them and then you can resurrect. Revivify doesn't quite work because it takes longer than that to become a vampire, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, okay. What about reincarnation?
That might work. It depends on how long you're dead for, I think, with that one.
Okay, but here's my question. Can you reincarnate someone when their body is still being animated by a vampire? Because you get a new body.
That is true. I think you still have to be dead, though. I think the main deciding factor is you have to be dead, not undead.
Okay. I'll take it.
Because it doesn't say undead, then dead again. You just have to be dead.
Hey, yo, Prax!
Yo!
I was thinking about you, but I can't remember now because I forgot it. That is my life. Mark scoffed. Yeah, I don't know what the lore is here about that. This is you. Does the vampire's body contain the person's soul? Because if not, reincarnation is fair game. Oh, that's a very good question. Right, like, is the soul trapped in the body, but not able to do anything?
I do think you have to have a piece of the body, though.
For reincarnation?
I think so.
Oh. This is interesting.
Which also is for revive.
Yeah.
If you just cast resurrect, you have to have the body. Only true resurrection is the one you do not have to have the body for.
Oh, interesting.
The soul has to be willing and able, and you have to have the body.
For everything but true resurrection, but we don't know about reincarnation.
Yes, I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure you have to have at least a piece of the body.
Huh.
I'll look it up real quick. I can look it up right now.
Yeah, it's also important to sort of wonder philosophically if the undead body is a cage for the soul, in which case you do have to, like, I suppose, re-kill the body, right? Can we have most of the body? But is the soul dead while the body is undead? Yeah, this is interesting.
The soul just has to be available. It doesn't, I mean, but if you want to bring it back, the soul has to be available, and depending on spells. So reincarnate, you touch a dead humanoid or a piece of dead humanoid, provided that creature has been dead no longer than 10 days. The spell forms a new adult body for it and then calls the soul to enter that body. If the target soul isn't free or willing to do so, the spell fails. So again, has to be dead, not undead. And you have to have a piece of the body. Or the body. You have to have, again, you have to have body and soul for everything, but true resurrection, you just have to have soul.
So you need the body for reincarnation.
Mm-hmm. Or peace.
Peace. By the way, it is 9. So we have to do our outros now.
We do.
That's the rule.
I suppose that is true.
That is the rule.
Did you save the game?
I did save the game.
Okay, good.
I did, so that when we come back, we can do it. Also, next time when we come back, I'm going to try unclicking this. It's experimentation on getting the parallels to work smoother. This is all about experimentation, right? This is what we do. We experiment with the stuff to figure out how to do this the best way possible. Yeah. So I've got questions. Do you know what I mean? Like I have questions about all of this. I'd like to.
There's a lot of questions out there.
Yeah. Okay, so, my friend, Lindy, this was, first of all, I want to say thank you for joining me for, Twice Reborn. We got quite a lot done, I thought.
We did. I think so.
Yeah, even considering it was like a slightly shorter stream and there were some shenanigans, but I thought we got a lot done.
I think so.
And I know that it was a little slow.
We haven't died yet.
We haven't died yet. Yeah. The program itself ran pretty slow, but I don't think we did. So I'm gonna, see what we can do about working that out. We'll see. I have a question that I'm gonna sort of experiment on. Experimentation, but that's how you end up with someone a vampire. It's true, actually. That is a true statement. So let's see. We've got you. Today's Thursday. So the next time we're going to see you is Monday on your channel. Yes. Yes. What about, do you have, King in Yellow, is that offline or online?
It's offline.
Offline. Well, then nobody.
Well, it's off stream. It's online.
Yeah. I suppose you can find me tomorrow at noon for the Outer World. And then the next time you'll see me is Monday at 8:45 p.m. over at Wandering DM's channel for episode 2 of of Montreal by Night, where I'm playing a Brujah named Lucky, who has a slightly short temper. Wait, tomorrow's not Saturday? Oh my gosh, Rissa, thank you. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. No. Yes, you are all right and I am wrong. Tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow, which is Friday, at 7 p.m., you will see me here. Our Foxhole Friday Tales from a Foxhole will be going alone. Alone Against the Flames, a Call of Cthulhu solo adventure. And then on Saturday will be the Outer Worlds. And then on Monday will be our Vampire. And then Wednesday will be Upon the Hexenshire Moors. And then Thursday will be more RPGs, and it's up to Lindy if we're doing Twice Reborn or if I'm doing the Long Dark. You have to ask her. Well, she'll just tell me, and then I'll tell you. That's what it is. What about you?
Oh, for me, you can find me next on Monday for more of the New Batch, our Mondays in Exandria campaign. We're going to investigate a lake full of hands where people go in and only their hands ever come out. It's a little creepy, very exciting. Some cursed farms. On Tuesday, we'll be playing something. I don't know yet. We finished our short little mini campaign of Quest for the Heart. And they found the heart, and surprise, it was the High Priestess of Vecna. Everyone was surprised. It was great. And then on Wednesday, we'll have more of our Good Society game Upon the Hex of Shire Moors, and so on and so forth. So thank you very much.
Yes, and I am going to eat before.
Yes.
I will be hosting Critical Role 2 nights. My first time back hosting Critical Role in a while, which I'm very excited about. But I will be doing that. And what is next? I'll post the Critical Role, and I'm going to eat because. Do you want Tori and Virgil night? Absolutely. And I will be. I had breakfast this morning, and so I'll be eating lunch now. Very excited for it. And we're gonna go. Lindy's gonna judge me. Actually, as will everyone. But we're gonna go, and I will be back hosting Critical Role on this channel in about an hour. In the interim, I'm going to eat. And then I will catch you all on the flip side. And I want to thank Lindy for playing with me because Lindy's the best. Bye, everybody. Bye.